Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I love this. My name's Jay Milne. #Blue. Our sports update deliverer, the Koob.
I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid? You might be honest. All right, here's what's going on in the nest.
What I'm saying is you can't keep winning on the backs of lines 2 through 4. I mean, at some point, your superstars got to play half the game and take over and win, right?
Show up.
My goodness.
5 minutes of showing
Enough of relying on the depth, guys. Let's have the stars take control of a series, maybe. My goodness. Oh, are we live? Hey, everybody. What's going on? Oh, my goodness. I just woke up like 10 minutes ago. That's too late for me last night.
Yeah, that was.
It wasn't even that late.
That was a late one. My bearings have been off today.
That was just an epic playoff game. Like just a fantastic, that's a classic game.
Yes.
And again, we know we're talking to the majority of Oilers fans. I'm sure, I'm positive we have some Vegas Golden Knights fans tuning in today just to see what's being said. And maybe to try to snipe at some things a little bit, which is fair. There are some things that Golden Knights, the organization and the fans have reason to be unhappy about. Fair enough. But if you were just watching that game and had no emotional investment at all, my goodness, what was going to happen next? Like Vegas up 1-0, can't extend the lead. This, journeyman goaltender going for his 6th consecutive victory. The Oilers score 3 goals quite quickly. Vegas won't go away. Oilers go up 2 again. Vegas ties it. Then the 5-minute major in overtime. And then the non-call on Arvidsson. And then those 2 best players who didn't have a very good game, especially Draisaitl, I thought, get a 2-on-1. And then it was lights out. And the Oilers have won 6 straight playoff games. They lead Vegas 2-0 in the best of 7. Game 3 is tomorrow at Rogers Place. I would assume the crowd is going to be quite invested in the outcome and perhaps vocalize that throughout the course of the evening. 7 o'clock game, so we will have coverage commencing at 5:30 here on Edmonton Sports Talk with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Tom Gazzola live at the Ice House in Ice District. Of course, Hernan Salas will be back here at the EST Global HQ. Matt Cassian, me, all part of the coverage. Going to be incredible. The Oilers with a 2-0 series lead. I am Reid Wilkins. He is Jason Milne. Zachary Kubusch is along for the ride as well. This is Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports, presented by Play Alberta. And we will have Jay's Play of the Day coming up in about 35 minutes. But Play Alberta on board as the presenting sponsor of Edmonton Sports Talk. Play Alberta, your home for online gaming excitement featuring casino games, live dealer action, lottery, instance, and sports betting. Now with the new Play Alberta app, you can take the fun with you anywhere. Download the app or sign up today at playalberta.ca. So, Mr. Milne, just your experience watching last night's hockey game.
It was, it was the same kind of recipe. I was making the girls a snack. They had basketball, and I met them there, and I left to go home to make sure I was home in time for the start of the game.
Okay.
So I was making them some crazy bread and some chicken nuggets because they had a crazy day after school. So I was making a snack.
Yeah, you're a good guy.
And I was watching the game at the same time. They go up 1-0. And, okay.
What else is new?
Whatever.
The other team scored
You know
first.
what, Reid? Honestly, I was happy. Because then they could have it, extend the comeback streak to 6. It's like, okay, this is perfect. This is exactly what, the story would tell, is that they'd go down and come back to win.
Right.
And then, that was a different game, though. I text you early in the game, and I said that I thought Vegas was playing a much stronger game a more defensive-minded game.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Oilers had to fight through that. And ultimately they did. I was surprised that they came back, Vegas. I thought that game was over on that Nurse goal. I really did. I thought that was it.
I thought when the Oilers made it 4-2 early in the third period, I thought, okay, maybe they're going to settle it down. But Vegas played great.
They did.
Vegas was the better team.
They were.
The better team does not always win. If this were the regular season, we'd probably be picking apart. Well, we are going to pick things apart. We'd probably be like, okay, that's not a recipe for success as is. But in the playoffs, you got 7 chances to win 4, and the Oilers are now totally have the advantage in this series. But Vegas has impressed me. Eichel has impressed me. The Oilers special teams in this series, I don't hesitate to use this word, are a disaster.
Yes.
And that's concern number 1 for me. Now, that was also concern number 1 for me after the first 2 games of the LA series. And then the Oilers at least shifted them to, around even, or maybe even a little bit in advantage of the Oilers, if you consider when the Oilers scored some of their power play goals and some of their penalty kills. The Oilers were not close to scoring on the 5-minute power play. Maybe the Perry Jam play right near the beginning. Like the 2 Bouchard slap shots were unscreened. They weren't close to scoring in 5 minutes of power play time.
Yeah, that was a moment where you're like, okay, well, that was the chance, because now Vegas is going to get back to their, controlling the Oilers zone, which they did a lot of the game. They had many moments, I don't know how much time it would have equated to in the game, but did it not feel like they were controlling the puck in the Oilers zone 5-on-5 quite a few times?
Oh yeah, much better.
And
much better.
Then you get timely, some better, some, manageable saves from Calvin Pickard. I thought he was by far the best player on the Oilers last night.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good. Very clutch. That stop in overtime on that one that bounced in front of the net, and then Nurse disrupted the second shot. And I will give the Oilers credit for this. They are playing desperate. I mean, they weren't great defensively in terms of what they were giving up, but they do their damnedest to recover and get back and get in the way and block shots or disrupt a shot. It was just a classic playoff game. And I remind people all the time, enjoy the fact that if most of you are Oilers fans, enjoy the fact that your team is in it and can actually find a way to win it, which was pretty incredible. So the Oilers up 2-0 in the best of 7. We are going to get the latest clips from Chris Knoblock, who spoke today before the Oilers flew back to Edmonton. We are going to talk about the Arvidsson non-penalty call and some of the discussion and controversy, if you want to call it that. We'll dive into that as we move along throughout the afternoon. So a lot of stuff to get to, and we're going to have some fun as well. Though I will say this, the day did not start off very fun here at Edmonton Sports Talk.
Well, the hangout was great. And then the people from Advantage Sports Med were in on the hangout. So it was Emily and Norm, and they brought donuts, very nice donuts. And we took them into the hangout room, and I probably should have left them out here so others could enjoy it. But I offered them one on the show, and politely declined. So after the show, and then Catherine Plouffe came on. It was an awesome hangout.
Yeah.
After the show, I put the donuts out on the in the main area here, and sure enough, those here start digging into them, which is what you're supposed to do. And I was a little hungry, so I had a quarter of one, and it was really good. It was really, really good.
Right.
And I felt a bit more peckish, so I went in for round number 2. I cut into one that hadn't been cut into yet.
Okay.
And it just looked like a chocolate glazed donut. And I don't know what happened, Reid, or why I did this, but those of you that have been following the show know that Reid and I have a nut allergy. Reid's probably a little bit more aggressive than mine. I'm allergic to hazelnuts and Brazil nuts. And I took a bite of this donut, and immediately I regretted my decision. As you know, or as if those watching, viewing, listening know or have this allergy, for me and for Reid, our mouths start to get itchy. And I immediately felt that. I said to everybody, I'm like, okay, guys, I'm having a bit of a reaction here. And Reid perked right up because he knows it could be quite severe. It could be something that we might need to take action.
Yep.
And I kind of walked it off, to be honest. And then I went to the washroom to go wash my hands because I wanted to make sure there was no residue on my hand. And I look up in the mirror and I could see my face turning red, dark red, bright red in the span of about 10 seconds. And I got super hot. I had to go outside to my truck. I couldn't take the heat in here. And long story short, the Godfather, T-Roy, was still around. He was bringing me, he was there to comfort me. Maddie and Reid went immediately to a pharmacy.
We went to Save On Pharmacy, yeah.
Save On Foods Pharmacy, and got some
Reactant, basically. Yeah.
Pretty much reactant. By the time they got back, I was feeling better, but there was a point there. Like I did relieve myself of what was in my stomach, if you know what I mean. I threw up. I did it on purpose too. I jammed my finger up my mouth and I threw up because I had to get this out of me because it was killing me. I could feel it in my stomach. So I had a very severe reaction. I was sweating. It was a weird one. I haven't had a reaction. I told my wife as I started coming down from it and feeling better. I called my wife, and she's never. This is what I mean. She's never seen me have a reaction. We've been together for like 22 years. That's how long it's been. So I'm doing fine. I'm 100% now. I would like to thank everybody here that helped me out and got me through it. It was awkward sitting around my truck, tailgate down, and we're all standing around a pile of puke. But that's what it was. That's how it went today at EST. And it was good. It wasn't good. It was awful. It was a really weird one. My hands got itchy after.
Yeah.
It was a strange one.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling a lot better. You look a lot better, and I'm glad you're feeling a lot better. And I know you're a tough guy, and you don't like attention for those reasons, and you want to work, because I've been that way myself. I mean, I thought I was going to be working last Tuesday after having eye surgery till I actually had the eye surgery and realized, like, oh, this isn't a work day. But I was really concerned about you because you don't know which way it's going to go. And that's why I kept asking you, can you breathe? Is your throat okay? And you said that it wasn't fine, my throat. But I could tell you didn't feel good. But I understand that feeling that you just had to get away and get out in the open. Because even if when I've had these reactions, even if you're not having trouble breathing, you just feel like you don't want to be stuffed in or like in a room. So
it was weird. Yeah. It was really weird. And it was, at one point I had to lean up against my truck because I was like, am I going to go down here? Like, am I going to faint? But yes, and that was brought up. We are going to get an EpiPen probably for the office.
Well, and I do have an EpiPen, though I've been walking more in the spring here, so I have a shoulder bag I take, and it's in that bag. But I see people putting EpiPen in the nasty chat. You don't just, with an allergic reaction, you don't just immediately go for the EpiPen. I will say this. I have actually never used my EpiPen.
Me neither.
There was probably an occasion where I was in Philadelphia where I would have used it when I had a bad reaction, but because I was in this, and here's the thing, everything that I know is that if you use your EpiPen, you still have to go to the hospital. Like if you're bad enough to use an EpiPen, you still have to go to the hospital. Like my cousin, the same one that's in the choir that we've played the clips from, she got stung by a wasp. She got stung by a wasp a few years ago and got 4 EpiPen shots and went to the hospital.
Wow.
And then had ongoing treatments for weeks or years.
That was a severe reaction.
Yeah. So, we should have an EpiPen on site. And I usually have it in my bag and carry with me, but because I've been out walking anymore, I've been moving it back and forth. And I forgot to move it back. Anyway, you're okay. And again, because it wasn't a throat situation or you I'm going to pass out, we wanted to deal with it with Reactant, or maybe you go into a Medi Center or emergency or something, as opposed to just be like, well, he's mildly uncomfortable. Let's get out the EpiPen. But I appreciate everybody talking about that. I'm sure there are people out there listening who have allergies and understand what's going on. But this leads us into our off-topic topic, Nasties. Presented by William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. Tell us about the strangest place you've ever puked, or a time you needed to get to the bathroom to puke, or, maybe to a quieter place away from people, and that just didn't happen. This is serious. We want to know this.
Yes.
We think there are going to be some great stories out of this.
Like, Troy was standing with me, and I was keeled over, barfing everywhere on the avenue.
And you actually want to puke in that situation.
I had to get it out of me. It was like there was a devil inside of me, Reid. I had to get him out.
Where's it access when you need him? The devil inside. Oh, you know what Michael Hutchins was doing when we needed him. Anyway, but
it led to puking.
Yeah, exactly. So that's our off-topic topic about a time you had to puke and you wound up doing it. I have a quick story. When Jay Onright and I went on our baseball tour 2007,
this story.
We'd been driving a lot. This is not him pooping.
This isn't the poop story.
You're driving a lot, and but we were in Boston, and we kind of, neither one of us, we were both really tired, but we went out for seafood because there's this seafood place, and we had seafood, and it wasn't nearly as good as we were hoping. And we're driving back to the hotel in the cab. And I'd had a glass of wine. I was not drunk, but I just didn't feel great. And I asked the guy to pull over, and Jay was like, you got to pull over. And I couldn't hold it in. I puked in the back of the cab. And then he pulled over at a gas station. And then when, Jay was kind of upset at me because I think he had to perhaps pay off the guy so we didn't get the city fine for puking in a cab. So I think Jay might have negotiated an amount that satisfied the guy and got us off the hook from getting a more expensive ticket. But he pulled over at a gas station, and Jay was like, hey, I'll get some towels and wipe up as much as I can. And I walked over to the tall garbage cans, next to the pumps, and just vomited more of those. And Jay was like, yeah, there was some comedic value to just strolling over to these garbage cans and continuing to puke. So that's my story. I hope we're not grossing anybody out today. Hey, it's part of what happens.
It is.
It's part of what happens. So you can get in touch in the Nasty Chat if you'd like to share very publicly. That, of course, is the chat stream that's going on the Edmonton Sports Talk YouTube page. Remember to subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk if you haven't already. We're now over 12.1 thousand subscribers, which is pretty cool. Hit the like button, click the thumbs up. We've been doing great during the playoffs of getting to over 200 thumbs.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right. So don't delay. Don't it's a Friday. Get in there and click. And then you're guilt-free going into the weekend. Oh, yeah, I didn't forget to click their show. We're all good. And again, we've been getting to 100 really quickly, which is pretty cool. So, we want to get to over 200. But let's fly along with the thumbs.
And Dusty does chime in and say that, don't worry, Jay, we've got WCB. Well, that got brought up on the Hangout today, and especially it's apparently it's not like hey, you can break your leg here and you're covered, like playing basketball. It's a specific radio and media WCB coverage. So I think we could only bash our head with a microphone and claim it.
Right? Yeah.
Can we get injured while dunking on the mini hoop?
No,
that's on you, dog.
That's on you. It's a good thing.
On you.
Yeah.
Okay,
I have not shot the mini hoop in
HR Daddy reached out to Maddie after the Hangout and said, hey, just so you know, that WCB you're talking about.
HR Daddy's on top of stuff.
He is.
YYC No Flames for Me says, pretended to take a phone call and puke down the stairwell in my dorm tower in college. Went back to play more beer pong.
Oh, that's rude. Imagine being on the bottom of that.
Just Me says, once on a tour boat in London, I felt the urge to barf, and I did it in the garbage can just after we got on board. I wasn't done, though, so I barfed again overboard. Incredible. Well, feed the fish. But yes, and we do appreciate.
Is that the Thames?
The Thames, isn't it?
Thames.
Isn't it that the river in London, in England, and I believe London, Ontario, it's called the Thames. Vis-a-vis.
Collingwood Rob says, Jablonski, where's the EpiPen?
That's good. That's really good. But we do appreciate all the well wishes for Jay. Of course, Jay and I realize that it could have been very serious, but it wasn't. So we made it. So we made a barfing the off-topic topic because why not? It's Friday. The Oilers up 2-0 in the best of 7. There is a lot to talk about, and we are going to do that. So again, you can participate in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up button. Give us a like. Let's see how high we can go today. There's no need to wait. Okay, good. We're gonna get to those. We'll weave them into the show, so to speak, throughout the course of the afternoon. You can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, and if you are texting, that's what Jay is looking at right now. The afternoon inbox 780-218-9999, presented by River Cruise Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week, from 2 to 5 p.m. We're going to get fired up for Gemco, talk a little more about the Arvidsson non-call in overtime. But first, the Koob.
Couple games in the NHL. Dallas looks to go up 2-0 on the Jets in Game 2, while Toronto visits Florida for Game 3. The Maple Leafs up 2-0 in the series. And the NHL Department of Player Safety has a hearing with Vegas's Nicholas Waugh after he cross-checked Trent Frederick of the Oilers last night in the face. The play resulted in a 5-minute major. Out east, the Devils are making some coaching changes. Assistant coaches Ryan McGill and Chris Taylor are not returning, while video coach Jerry Deneen's contract has not been renewed. While in the NFL, the Saints have signed 9th overall pick offensive tackle Kelvin Banks Jr. to a 4-year deal worth nearly $28 million. Basketball has a couple games. Thunder and Nuggets meet in Game 3. That series is locked at 1 apiece, while the Cavs and Pacers tip off at 5:30. Indiana up 2-0 in the series. And from Seattle, the Jays and Mariners kick off a 3-game series. Kevin Gausman takes the ball for Toronto. This sports update is brought to you by Clover Bar Feeds. Clover Bar Feeds has all the animal feed you'll need. Get top-notch service and selection from their family-owned business. Visit Clover Bar Feeds at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park, or call them at 780-467-5014. More Oilers Golden Knights talk on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
2 guys and a goalie.
It's frustrating as a hockey fan in general to see garbage like that be called in the NHL playoffs. That being said, do the Leafs actually look like a different team?
I hate to say it, but yeah, they do. They play with pace, speed, discipline. Their defensive structure, they make it difficult to get to the hard areas. Yeah, the Leafs, they're different.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Spin to win Fridays at The Banquet. Every Friday, spin the wheel for a chance to win big and save on your bill. It's that easy. Spin, win, and save. Don't miss out. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Timeout, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Must you click? Click. Must you click?
All right, that is the Thumb Click remix as put together by our own Zachary Kubusch. Yes, click the thumbs up. Give us a like if you're taking in the show on YouTube. If you're not, we still thank you for listening to the show. We have the audio streams, iHeartRadio app, TuneIn Radio app. You can get us there. You can go to edmontonsportstalk.com. Follow us on Twitter at YEG Sports Talk. On Instagram, it's Edmonton Sports Talk. So a lot of ways to follow and consume the great content of the station. But I'll tell you what, if you're on YouTube, click that like button, click the thumbs up. If you're not, maybe find time before the end of the show to go in there, share the show link with other people, not and say, hey, click a thumbs up, but also listen to these guys for 5 minutes. They're talking Oilers. They're talking real life. They're talking allergic reactions. It's a very relatable show. At least I think we are. I mean, Jay getting sick and puking at work and still doing his shift. I think that's pretty relatable.
It happened.
The off-topic topic for William Huff, a time you had to vomit, and it kind of happened more publicly than you were hoping.
Bronco Nick says, I puked in a plant at Club Malibu on Bourbon Street. Nobody noticed it until they smelled it an hour later.
Woo!
Oh, God.
Well, and you know how it sounded when people detected the smell.
Oh, my gosh.
What? What? Can you read it? Yeah, read that one.
It's a
little too graphic?
It's pretty graphic.
Okay, might have to do an edited version for later. Prepare. We have to call in our editors to cut it down.
Big Uke, Grey Wolf Golf Course in Panorama. A very nice course. Was crazy hungover. Curvy roads to the course, which is a recipe for disaster. Got to course, rushed to bathroom. Immediately let her buck pretty good. While washing my hands, the guy who happened to be in a nearby stall came out, chuckled, and said, I'd recommend your drinks be a Gatorade.
Oh, my goodness. I love how people are just posting in the nasty chat about this as well. Les says, I had a friend try to vomit into a beer bottle once. Same guy then attempted the same thing with an ashtray. John says, my daughter had motion sickness on the bus, opened the window, and ended up puking on a motorcycle that was stopped next to the bus. Oh, my Lord. I have to say, I know this might be a little gross, but we've all been there. And this is a very human thing we're talking about.
Okay, this one comes in from Colton. Sorry, this will be my last one.
No, we're going to do this throughout the show.
Oh, we have to. Boys, I have a brutal one. I was probably 20 and wasn't great with air travel. Anyways, was flying down to Houston, had a middle seat between two bigger gentlemen. Midway through a warmer flight, one of them let one rip, and it was potent. I went to grab the puke bag, and it had a hole in it. Aisle seat guy was sleeping and couldn't wake him up, and I ended up projectile vomiting in my seat. So embarrassing. Window seat guy was so nice about it, though. Helped clean up and got me every water and everything.
Oh my Lord, that's a combo story there. That's a very good combo story.
From a smell is a terrible puke.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever done that from a smell.
I've gagged.
Yeah,
but I have never went through with it. Point.
Well, and then you always worry about like chain reaction puking too. Like hearing someone gag then makes you gag, and then that makes somebody else gag.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure people are enjoying this. If you're at your workplace listening on your headphones, hopefully we're giving you a good chuckle for sure. Okay, keep clicking that thumbs up button on YouTube. We got a chance to get to 100 in the next 10 minutes, so don't delay. Get in there and get us to triple digits very early in the show. Time to get fired up. It's presented by Gemco. Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years. The authorized dealer for Napoleon fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. So last night's game did not come without controversy. And look, if you've been a sports fan for any length of time, like say more than 3 months, maybe you're maybe little Jablonski. He's like, I thought the refs were perfect. The refs aren't perfect, Jablonski. Quit thinking that. Like stuff happens in games. Mistakes are made, and there are moments that become part of the lore of the sport or of specific franchises. One thing, just to meander a little bit, one text that Tom read me last night when I was on for Reeds presented by the Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf and Curling Club was somebody said, are the Oilers a team of destiny? And I said, well, we'll see. I said, I think a few fan bases are hoping it's their year. I'm sure Leafs fans are thinking that. If you're a Jets fan, how can you not think we were 2 minutes and then we were 2 seconds away from losing and we won the series, even though they were down? Certainly for Oilers fans, there are things happening that have been somewhat unusual, or there have been a series of things that usually wouldn't happen as often as they do that are going the Oilers' way. Hiller's silly challenge, right?
Yeah.
The Oilers always falling behind and winning. Bouchard tying the game late, things like that. And then last night, you go through all this stuff, and then you get a 5-minute power play, and it appears like, oh, it's our destiny. And then you don't score, and then Arvidsson gets away with what should have been a tripping penalty. And 15 seconds later, the face-off happens, and Perry gets the puck to McDavid, who gets it to Draisaitl after Bouchard, to be fair, made a pretty good defensive play on Mark Stone. So the Oilers pull that out, right? So I think that that fan was recognizing, hey, we were a little fortunate that we weren't shorthanded there and had those guys on the ice to score that goal. So, there are some things going on. But in the course of my talking with Tom, I said, look, that's a penalty on Arvidsson, okay? And there are two sides to people in our profession, Jay, and I think you've even learned that in the 8 or 9 months we've been doing the show together. There's the let's talk about what happened. And the let's break it down. Why is this team good? Why is this player good? What happened in this game? Where you try to say, okay, let's look at it and break it down. But there's the other side of it where we are human beings and we make observations and we form opinions or maybe have things to say as a result of those observations. And one thing that I have said, and I used to say this on Ched as well. Maybe I didn't dive into it as much. Maybe, you're not working for the Oilers, but you're a rights holder for the Oilers. So what do I gain if I'm really attacking another franchise or something like that? But I don't think I'm attacking them. It is my opinion, based on observations and from things I've heard for others, that the Vegas Golden Knights are generally quite an arrogant, difficult to deal with franchise. From my standpoint and some things I've heard from other people and about people within the Vegas organization. Okay. I'm not going to dive into specific things, but there is a contrast from other teams. Like I'll tell you one other thing. You know what franchise is exceptional to deal with when it comes to their media relations people and the large majority of their media people? The Calgary Flames. The Calgary Flames are a rival of the Oilers, obviously. So I'm not just saying, Reid just said he doesn't like Vegas because they knocked the Oilers out. No, that's what I find them about their franchise. Now, I got a lot of respect for them. Like when I call them the miserable bastards, that's a compliment because I think in hockey, that's how you have to play. I think Mark Stone is a hell of a competitive and talented hockey player. I think Alex Pietrangelo is a great player. I think Aiden Hill is an incredible story. I think Jack Eichel turned his career around in Vegas. I think they're an outstanding hockey team, and quite frankly, they are good enough to beat the Oilers 4 times in the next 5 games and win the series. But if you're asking me, people always ask me, well, like, Reid, tell me something behind the scenes. Like, tell me something, you wouldn't necessarily talk about or whatever. It's like, okay, I think the Vegas Golden Knights are an arrogant franchise. And I also think some of their media people, quite frankly, share that, even though really they have nothing to do with the success on the ice. So I said to Tom, hey, you know what? It's going to be a cold day and you know where before you get me, Reid Wilkins, the individual, to shed a tear for the Vegas Golden Knights. Stanley Cup final in their first year, won a Stanley Cup already less than a decade into their existence, perennial contender, let's face it, got some pretty nice rules through the expansion draft. And I realized, after I was on DVD, said, well, Seattle had some of those things as well. DVD said, I don't agree with Reid's impression of it. That's fine. I can only give you my impression. I can only give you my opinion on that. So you're not going to get me to feel bad that a bad call didn't help the Vegas Golden Knights. And quite frankly, in the general scope of discussing sports, you're really not going to get me to feel bad for any team that doesn't get a call. Because it's all part of what happens. Okay? We still get comments. Talbot's pad got grabbed in 2017. Yep. A lot of Oilers fans haven't let that go. We still get Buffalo Sabres. That Brett Hull goal shouldn't have counted. The crease rule wasn't properly enforced. LA Kings fans are still upset that the Canadians called for the illegal stick measurement on McSorley in 93. There are still Philadelphia Flyers fans who bring up that the Islanders were offside on the 1980 Stanley Cup winning goal in Game 6 overtime. Probably at least half our audience wasn't born in 1980. Trust me, I know it still gets brought up. So this becomes part of the lore of the game, So the refs made a mistake. They made a bad mistake. It helped the Edmonton Oilers. Now, also last night, after I said this, somebody wrote into Tom and said, well, at least Reid has the cojones to admit that he's a biased homer. Okay, first of all, incorrect. Because if I were a homer, I would never say that the Oilers did anything wrong. I would say that every call goes against them. I would say Arvidsson wasn't guilty of a trip. I would come up with some other excuse for something else that happened. I would blame every call that went against, I would only point out calls that went against the Oilers, and I would try to justify how things that they did that looked like penalties weren't penalties. So, I'm not a homer. If the Oilers are playing poorly, I will say it. If the Oilers get away with something like Arvidsson did, I will say it. Now, here's the other thing, though, people got to remember. Jay and I have said since probably day 3 of the postseason that the reffing has not been good. And we've provided plenty of examples, both from Oilers games and from other Oilers games. And we've given plenty of examples that have gone against and also that have helped the Oilers, like Corey Perry getting away with a trip in one of the games against LA.
That was a big one.
And things like that. So, you know what? Victor Arvidsson should have been penalized for tripping.
Yes.
That's a missed call. That is a blatant missed call. Now, he didn't shove him in the back. His hand was on his back. He didn't shove him. He didn't push him into the boards. But he tripped him. Put his stick in between his legs and he tripped him. The ref screwed up. I think it was Gord Dwyer. He screwed up. Absolutely screwed up. 100% a missed call. And the Oilers scored 15 seconds later. Well, what do you want the Oilers to do? Hey, guys, let's not score for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like it when it's missed. I think the reffing should be way better. I think it's getting to be a problem in the NHL. I think the standard is getting confusing and frustrating. But I also think now this just enters the lore of the National Hockey League. This enters the lore of the rivalry between the Golden Knights and the Oilers. And quite frankly, I'm fired up about that because that's part of the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Is that these wacky things, sometimes mistakes, whether by a coach or a player or a referee, can at times have huge impacts on series. And they just all become part of the fabric of the league and add to the storylines and give us a lot of fun things to talk about. So I kind of covered off a lot of points there, I think. But, I mean, here's the thing. I'm not going to feel bad for the Golden Knights. Sorry, everybody. Why should I?
No, you don't have to. You don't have to justify something that you have no control over. Right? and you're acknowledging, yeah, it was a penalty. So was Corey Perry's trip in the King series. Blatant trip. But that's also happened the other way. Right? The Oilers have it's cost them poor officiating. Or not even poor inconsistent officiating. And if you look back at that, Reid, that referee wanted to put his hand up. That hand moved. And then it stayed by his side. And that just comes down to the time and place. Overtime, going to put the whistle away.
Well, I wonder what Dwyer saw, because it like at full speed, I thought McNabb just fell watching it on TV, that they sort of, and then on the replay, I'm like, oh, Arvidsson's stick was in there. So maybe at full speed, he couldn't tell, or the part of the net was, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, this is whatever people may think, well, what are you talking about? But I hope he's okay.
Yeah. No
McNabb.
Update on his status today.
Because then that would really be salt on the wound for the Vegas, sure. Right? So I hope he's okay, because you also want to see the best players on the ice. I mean, the Oilers have, Pietrangelo was back last night. That, made his, he was trying to do a little bit of a Bouchard impression.
Played quite well until he almost handed the Oilers the win twice before they actually got it. I mean, what a wild game.
No, it was awesome. It's entertaining as it can be.
They couldn't take your eyes away from it.
No. That overtime was terrible. I had to pee. And they don't break until like halfway through. They shovel the ice.
They just do
the
a
halfway
scrape.
break, but there's no commercials. Ay. First world problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, very entertaining game. And we'll get into it. I've got a lot of questions and discussion. I know you've got some clips coming up as well. But just fabulous. Here's the one thing I'll leave before we go to break. How many teams in NHL history have overcome a 2-0 series deficit to win a series?
38.
A 7-game series.
38.
57.
57, including the Oilers in round one.
58 with Oilers in round one.
Oh, that didn't count.
They didn't have it on there yet because I think they do it after the fact. 58, including the Oilers in round one. It happens. Now, it happens once or twice a year or a playoffs. So maybe the Oilers already got that one out of the way in their comeback against the Kings.
Yeah.
Who knows? But it happens. Probably more than you think. 58 times it's happened in NHL history in a 7-game series.
Vegas did it to Dallas last year. And
That's
didn't
right.
Dallas win the first 2 games in Vegas?
Yeah.
So the Golden Knights are saying, hey, we've been here. We're good.
That's the narrative for them.
And then, again, Vegas played a heck of a game yesterday. I mean, the Oilers, A, you got to fix the special teams. And then B, you got to be ready for what Vegas is going to bring. Because Vegas was quicker and they were harder on the puck. And Edmonton could not get anything going. Now, Pickard was heroic.
Oh.
I mean, this is the thing where it gets to this time of year, sure, goals against average, save percentage, of course, important, but just win the game. Just win the game. And I think, and Hill had one of those games where he didn't let in a bad goal, I don't think, but he let in one or two where it's like, God, you'd love that stopped, wouldn't you?
That Podkolzin goal.
I mean, I guess any goal you'd like to say, I wish the goalie could have stopped
straight
it.
on, had to look at it, had to look at the release.
Yeah.
Beat him into the arm.
Even the Nurse one.
True.
One of those two you'd probably like to be stopped, right? And you keep it 2-1 instead of 3-1, and then who knows?
I know you don't like the term or the usage of it, but the term goalied, right?
Oh, sorry. Dallas did it to Vegas. Thanks, Big Uke. Yeah, it was the other way around.
Oh,
Vegas won the... Yeah, sorry.
I have the list
My
here.
bad.
Is that something they're saying in Las Vegas? Is that Calvin Pickard goalied them?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
I mean, he made some exceptional saves. You just don't like the term. I understand.
It's overused. Oh, they got
really.
goalied.
There haven't been... for the Oilers, there's not been one game this postseason where that word could be used. And for most Oilers fans, they would think it would come from the opposing goalie,
maybe
not
I'm just
Calvin Pickard.
To me, you get goalied if a goalie makes like 45 saves on 46 shots.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I understand.
A guy just making key saves doesn't. That's just good goaltending.
Yeah, and we'll talk
clutch
about
goaltending. Oh yeah. Oh, what a day. Jay's alive.
I'm here.
I have 2 eyes.
We're just a bunch of misfits.
It's incredible. 780-218-9999 is how you can reach us on the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. That's the text line. We're 5 thumbs away from already getting to 100 on the YouTube stream. So get in there and click. Let's get a big rally going, and let's try to get to 130 single word of the day territory by the top of the hour. And we want to get to over 200 for the whole show.
Yeah.
But let's spur everybody to get to 130 by the top of the hour. Don't delay. Get in there and click the like button, the little thumbs up. Here comes the Koob.
After receiving a 5-minute major in a game misconduct yesterday for cross-checking Edmonton's Trent Frederick in the face, Nicholas Waugh of the Golden Knights is set to have a hearing with the NHL's Department of Player Safety. In 2 games, the NHL slate tonight, Panthers and Leafs go at it in Game 3, having Florida down 2-0 in the series. Elsewhere, Dallas hits the ice in Winnipeg for Game 2. Dallas up 1-0 in the WHL Championship Series starts tonight. Gavin McKenna's Tigers take on the Chiefs, with Spokane and Medicine Hat both sweeping their opponents in their conference matchups. In the association, the Cavs and Pacers tip off at 5:30 in Game 3. Indiana winning both games so far before OKC plays Denver, with that series tied 1-1. And back in Edmonton, the Stingers are back with their season opener tomorrow at the Expo Center as they battle their provincial rivals in the Surge. From Seattle, the Jays and Mariners open up a 3-game series. Kevin Gausman starts on the mound for Toronto. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years. Their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can also shop online at paramountflooring.ca. We have a brief timeout before the boys roll on with the show. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Do you have pets? Horses? Chickens? Did the place you used to get your feed recently close down? Have no fear. Clover Bar Feeds is here. Whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or chickens, Clover Bar Feeds has you covered. Offering a large variety of food and feed, you can trust the experts at Clover Bar Feeds. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. This means you can expect nothing less than top-notch service and selection. Come visit them at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park, or visit them online at cloverbarfeeds.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. It's Friday, baby. Oilers up 2-0 in the best of 7 against Vegas. Tomorrow night, it's a 7 o'clock game at Rogers Place. We will have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 5:30. Tom Gazzola at the Ice House in Ice District. He's on from there after the game, as well as the Oilers try to go up 3-0 in the best of 7. Jay Milne and I are in the banquet studio craving a late night snack. Check out the Banquet's new late-night happy hour menu, Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. till close. Enjoy favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or the Banquet burger at happy hour prices. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard. The off-topic topic for William Huff is a story about a time you had to puke and didn't make it to the bathroom or to a more private location. Jim in the Nasty Chat says, revolving restaurant, Hotel Fort Garry, Winnipeg. Friend of mine started throwing up all over her plate, filled that, and then filled her husband's plate right in front of me as we were twirling around. My, oh my. How fast did they have it revolving?
Have you ever been to the revolving restaurant in Edmonton?
Laurent. Yeah, years ago.
At, what is that, Chateau Lacombe?
Yeah, is it still open?
I don't know. Do you know, we used to go there, it'd be like a treat once a year, I think we'd do that.
Oh, nice.
And we'd put a penny on the outside. And when you...
Oh, so when you go buy it again.
Yeah. We'd see if somebody stole it or if it was there.
Would anybody take it?
No, oddly enough.
Why would anybody take it?
Penny. Could be lucky.
Could be.
It's a strange, it's a strange thing, a revolving restaurant. I mean, whoever came up with that idea, okay, we're going to have this restaurant at the top of the Chateau Lacombe. It's overlooking, the whole river valley in downtown.
Right.
But wait. The kitchen's going to be in the center, and we're going to put this thing on wheels.
Right.
We're going to spin everybody.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea.
That must have been well beyond its years. The engineering to go into that.
Yeah, I don't know what the full history of revolving restaurants.
So you can have different view, obviously, but that must have been a trailblazer.
I wonder where the first revolving restaurant in Canada was. I don't know.
Oh, well, I'm going to find out.
If only we had Google. All right. As Jay does that, he's also getting ready his play of the day. Jay's play of the day is presented by Play Alberta, your home for online gaming excitement featuring casino games, live dealer action, lottery, instance, and sports betting. Now with the new Play Alberta app, you can take the fun with you anywhere. Download the app or sign up today at playalberta.ca.
It was Laurent.
It's the first revolving restaurant in Canada. Wow.
Yeah, and it's still renowned for its selection of local cuisines, incredible service, and memorable atmosphere.
And it's still open?
Apparently.
Good. Well, maybe we should do a show from there.
That would be something.
We could play You Spin Me Right Round. Was that Dead or Alive that did that song?
I know the song.
You spin me right round, baby. You spin me right round, baby. Right round like a record. Round, 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 round. One of the songs I listen to when Edmonton Sports Talk isn't streaming live. Oh, how I long for it to resume at 6 a.m. with the Nielsen Show.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, Jay's play of the day got a big boost today. So you're going to want to check it out. So where I went to Winnipeg.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? I got Scheifele 1 or more goals, Connor 1 or more points, and the game total to be over 5.5 goals. That was boosted to 451 people.
Why would you ever take the under in this day and age?
I don't know. I'm not an under guy, so you'll learn that about me. Probably already. Last time we had an overplay, it hit. It was part of my one of my plays of the day earlier. So, Scheifele goal, Connor point, and over 5.5.
Okay.
That is Jay's play of the day over at playalberta.ca. If you go over to the EST specials, you will find that as along with Dusty's play of the day, Lock Shop Partner Parlay, the Grand Est Parlay, which is put in by the D-Gen Den, I believe. And don't forget, use promo code 100sports. Deposit $20 or more for a $100 free bet on sports when you use a promo code 100sports and enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet. And then for new and existing users, using code YEG50.
Man, oh man. So yesterday you had a bet for Trent Frederick to score a goal. Oh man, if he could have got the overtime goal.
Well, I was gonna relish in it, in the fact that if they did score on that 5-minute power play in overtime, I was gonna use that to say, okay, Trent Frederick was involved at least.
Right.
He did have a shot early in the game in the first period that kind of ping-ponged around and just went wide. But I think it ping-ponged off an Oilers player, so it wouldn't have even been his goal.
Right. Yeah, he wasn't. He didn't get the chances that he did in the first game, but he obviously had the big goal against the LA Kings in Game 6 to help win that series. What did you think of the Nick Waugh cross-check? And then it was like, I was trying to knock the puck out of the air.
Yeah, no.
What?
No, I don't believe that. I think he was frustrated and just made a mistake. It was the emotions can get the best of you at times, and it did last night. Now, somebody was asking in the River Cree inbox. This is from the playbook. I was just wondering if you heard anything about the secondary discipline for the cross-check against Frederick.
Oh, he's got a hearing, right?
He's got a hearing,
but it's
tonight.
It's not today, it's not this afternoon.
Yeah, it's not going to be happening during the show.
I have to say this, and maybe I don't know if this is an indication of my view of hockey or my view of the Department of Player Safety. I was actually surprised he had a hearing. I thought they were just going to say, well, we don't like that, but you got a 5-minute penalty, and it's the playoffs. We'll see you next game.
Well, maybe nothing comes of it.
But now that he has a hearing, leads me to believe he's going to get a game. If they're actually going through the motions of having a hearing, I would now suspect that he'll get a game.
Like, how many times is there a hearing and it doesn't lead to a suspension?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think very often.
Right?
Yeah, so I think they think we got to do something about that.
It was egregious. I mean, if you look at it, and B, that's not how you would play a puck if you were trying to get it out of the air anyhow.
I know. It was such
you wouldn't
a weird
use
play.
your hands in a cross-check like positioning to try and volley the puck forward. You just wouldn't. And I think the fact that it did hurt Trent Frederick, and he was like his nose and his eye was already, you could tell already that the impact will leave a mark.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard for us to know what a player was thinking in that situation. And maybe he thought Frederick was going to drive at the puck as well, and he thought, okay, we're gonna clash sticks midair. I don't know. I'm not trying to defend it. I just don't think in that moment he thought, free shot at Frederick's face. What a time to take it. I mean, clearly he's not, because he knows it would have been like, players generally know when they're going to commit a penalty, especially if it's cross-check to the face. So I don't know what he was thinking, but that's not how you would try to play the puck. Maybe he thought Frederick was coming up high as well, and he did something half in self-defense and half in aggression. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me that he did that.
Max Pizzozu says some of these vomit stories. Hang on a sec. Let me see if I can find this. I got to steal this from the morning show just because you have to. Some of these vomit stories are hard to swallow.
We love getting limericks sent in to our emails, either Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com or Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. So Jeff in YYZ clarified why I always get ones fairly early from him. So he lives in the East, in Toronto, and he says, I usually get these to you before noon Mountain Time because I work in the afternoon shift in Toronto. So here we go. A tremendous performance by Picks with amazing Fuhr-like goalie tricks. Knights cross-checking misfits caused a mouthful of chiclets. Will the Oil take their streak beyond 6? Pretty good. Pretty good.
You might as well keep that going here. We got 2 limericks in from Bronco Nick, so I'm going to read the second one, the most recent one. Glue Guy and Emily both like to ski. The hazelnut in the donut Jay did not see. Panic ensued. Oh, what to do? Go get the EpiPen, Jablonski!
Jeez.
Thank you, Bronco Nick. I appreciate your warm words or your kind words as well.
Yeah, it's good stuff. The off-topic topic is a time you vomited more publicly than you were hoping to, basically.
Yeah, this one comes in from an unknown This person asked to remain anonymous.
Okay.
My wife won't be too happy with me sharing this, he says, but recently with her new pregnancy, she puked and rallied in her purse at Costco due to morning sickness. Okay.
Well, I guess it's better than puking in like the frying pan for one of the sample dishes they're giving out.
There's a vessel.
Would you like some shrimp? Nope, but I need the pan. Oh my goodness. That's from an anonymous source. Now you're going to tell me who it is during the break, aren't you?
It's in the inbox.
Oh, it's in the inbox. Okay. Oh, this is awesome.
Oh my gosh. Tapwater sends this one in. I was waiting in line for the swing ride at a carnival and a kid on the swings puked. Because of the circular motion of the swings, the puke had a 40 to 50 foot spread covering me and many other kids.
Oh, that's incredible.
Come on.
Well, that's a physics problem right there.
Oh,
if
boy.
little Joey is going 30 miles per hour on the swing at this angle, keep those coming in. My goodness. We appreciate people participating in that. We will have the oil understood for GCL Diesel, the latest audio from head coach Chris Knoblock when we get back.
The Lock Shop.
The play of the day yesterday was Draisaitl to be +1 or better. And on the Darnell Nurse goal, he was on the ice, he kind of affected the play, and then turned up to go change. And when Nurse scored, when we started cheering at the pub last night, I'm like, +1, Draisaitl is +1. He was going off the ice, Nuge was coming on, and I guess maybe they just give the plus to the person who's coming on, even though they're both still technically on the ice. So that's how we lost the play of the day yesterday.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
My mother used to let us not lock the doors. She's like, if you're locking the doors inside of the house, it means you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, that's why we lock the doors.
Host of the Bad Friends and Whiskey Ginger podcast, don't miss Andrew Santino, Freeze Peach, live at the River Cree May 22nd.
Michael, what are you doing? We have locks on the outside of the house to keep criminals from coming inside. There's no criminals inside of this house. Yes, there are, Karen.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. Excitement, bet on it.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Play more tables and games.
Play more tables and games. Make the most of your bad game. Oh, you want to, you need to, you know just what you gotta do. It's time to add some fun to your life. Make the most of your bad game. Play more tables and games. PlayMoreGames.ca.
Round 2 action continues in the NHL. The Jets battle the Stars for Game 2. Dallas taking Game 1, while the Maple Leafs and Panthers open up the night at 5 o'clock. Game 3 for that one. Toronto up 2-0. And Vegas says Nicholas Waugh has a hearing with the NHL's Department of Player Safety after he received a 5-minute major in a game misconduct last night for cross-checking Edmonton's Trent Frederick in the mouth. And from Medicine Hat, the Tigers and Chiefs have puck drop for Game 1 of the WHL Championship Series after both teams swept their conference opponents. And on the court, the Thunder meet with the Nuggets in Game 3. That series tied. Meanwhile, Cleveland throws down against Indiana, having the Cavs trailing 2-0 in the series. And the Stingers tip off at home against the Surge for their first game of the season tomorrow. That one's at 4 o'clock down at the Expo Center. Kevin Gausman takes the mound for Toronto as they open up a 3-game series with the Mariners. Seattle leading the American League West. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update. You're tuned in here on The Reid Wilkins Show.
Believe in me. Believe in me.
The dreams that I foresee.
This is Pud Colson singing to his teammates.
Yeah. What a banger.
What did Pud Colson got like 6 points?
Reid, he is, points per 60 minutes, 5v5. He's leading the Oilers with 4.17 as he only plays an average of 8 minutes and 59 seconds per game.
Incredible.
That's what you call production there, Reid.
That's that fourth line's fun to watch. I liked how Knoblock too, after they got the Wallman goal, he kept putting them out there. He was like, okay. And then they produced another goal, which was pretty cool to see.
You'd think with the names of Podkolzin, Janmark, and Arvidsson, you could come up with something fun. A good name.
Okay, we need a nickname for. Did they do it already?
Well, they talked about it in the morning show. I don't know if they came up, but feel free.
We need a nickname for that line.
Yes.
Janmark between Podkolzin and Arvidsson. Yeah, we're going to see. Keep giving us the thumbs up, by the way, if you're taking us in on the YouTube stream. We're at 114. Pretty decent start. First of all, for our double word of the day, which will be at the end of the show, we need to get to 100 but really, we want to get over 200. It's the postseason. The Oilers are doing well. They're playing some big games. They're pulling out some unlikely victories along the way. So keep clicking that thumbs up, the little like button on the YouTube stream. Send the show link to other people. Click share, text it along, email it to somebody else, and kind of make people like, hey, check out this show. They kind of make it like you're telling it's like a big deal.
I can't explain it.
Pump us up, like, hey, check it.
You just got to see it for yourself.
Hey, Jess, I know you're at work, but check out this show. Okay, just check it out. Jablonski, check out this show.
Oh, we have another person that used their backpack. I was on a bus up to a hike in Mexico City. This is from Dr. John. I got elevation sickness during the hike. I was going to be sick on the bus ride back and couldn't hold it. So the only thing I thought of was just to open my backpack and let her buck.
But here's my question. If you're out in nature, why not just step off the path?
He was on the bus.
Oh, he was on the bus. I'm sorry. Okay.
I would have opened a window. But I mean, you know when it happens, it's so fast.
Yeah, you got to think. You just got to do it.
He says it was an expensive backpack, so I threw everything out and washed it 5 times. Still has it to this day.
I bet you that in his family, it's known as the puke pack. Hey, what backpack are you using this weekend? Because I just found this one. No, I'm using the puke pack. Oh, right, that's a better bag. Yeah, good call.
Man.
Oh, this has been a great off-topic topic
the
for William
response
Huff.
for this off-topic topic, I could go on for hours.
We knew people were going to rally, though, because it's such a human thing. And it's like, this is one of those things, it's embarrassing, but you have to tell somebody. I know people are telling our audience, but this is not one of those things. Like, there might be some things that happened, and if you were alone, you're like, oh, I would never tell anybody this.
Yeah.
Like, I meant to call the doctor, and I called my dentist, and I got into a big argument, and I was a jerk, and then I realized I'd called the wrong doctor. Maybe you wouldn't admit that to your friends. But if you had a vomiting story,
yeah,
you're like, eventually at some point you're like, okay, guys, I'm going to look a little silly here, but then everybody has one or knows somebody that has one. So that's what we're finding out, thanks to William Huff.
Oh, boy. Bad Andy says, we were in Fairmont for our family golf trip. We ate barbecue wings from the 19th hole after the first round. The next morning on the first tee, I puked out the bottle of Pepto-Bismol and all the wings on the tee box.
Oh, my goodness. When I was a kid, and they used to have the Pepto-Bismol commercials on TV, I used to think that stuff looks delicious.
Oh, really?
Yes, like that pink and creamy stuff. It's like, oh, I bet you that's good.
My daughters find it funny that they're openly talking about nausea, upset stomach, diarrhea.
But it happens to everybody.
I know, but it's funny as a kid to be talking about diarrhea.
It's still funny as an adult.
I guess it is.
It's funny in a different way.
Well, that was the song, right? When you're sliding into first and you feel something burst, diarrhea.
Oh, yeah. Diarrhea. How did that go?
I don't know.
When you slide into first and you feel something burst, diarrhea. When you slide into... Oh, how
Coming
did it go?
Into second and you... I don't know. Somebody will remind us.
Somebody will give us the diarrhea song. Wow, this is incredible.
Talk about meandering.
What is that one? Is that Great Ass Fraser in the nasty chat? I got helicoptered out of the mountains, very ill on Vancouver Island. I tucked my shirt in my pants and puked into that to not get any on the helicopter.
He did this, Reid.
Well, he tucked. Okay, right. Oh, I see.
He filled his belly.
So he filled this. That would have been warm for a while.
I'm too close.
All right. 780-218-9999, by the way, is
Jen Cool says when you're climbing up a ladder and you feel something splatter. Maybe that should be
all part of the song. That should be the show theme song. You can text us to the afternoon inbox, 780-218-9999, presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. All you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday from 4 to 10 p.m. Hey, that's going on right now. Maybe you can go get some surf and turf before 10 o'clock tonight. So the Oilers traveling back today before they departed Vegas. Head coach Chris Knoblock answered some questions from the assembled media horde, though I think it was all Paige and Bob asking the questions, so maybe everybody else had left. It was just the OEG people there. There would have been a Vegas person there. Where do we want to start here? Knoblock, just with a few more takeaways and observations from last night.
Well, getting contributions from throughout their lineup. And last night, Janmark's line, 2 crucial goals, 2 goals from the back end. That's going to be very important. Our 5-on-5 scoring has been for the playoffs, where it's difficult to score. I think we've been doing a pretty good job of that. And moving forward, special teams are huge. The fact that we lost the special teams battle in both games and we came out with both wins, that was something I wouldn't have expected.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected that either, for the special teams to be, am I being too harsh, borderline incompetent?
Bad. Yeah, I don't think you are. But we said it yesterday, Reid. This team, who may be misunderstood right now, and I'm going to bring this up to you in buying or selling at the top of the hour for Damon Bunting Real Estate, but this team is thriving and surviving on their 5-on-5 play.
Yes.
Like surviving, which is something to say, considering the star power on that power play. And it's not, Reid, I don't know, like, does it look discombobulated to you?
Yeah.
Does it look like it's missing something, or is it just the fact that Leon Draisaitl simply is not playing up to his level?
They seem hesitant.
Like, we have not seen one cross-seamer to Leon in the spot.
No, I mean, Perry tried to flip it out to him when he got the puck in front, which was the right play, but he missed the pass badly.
He probably put it where Leon Draisaitl should have been.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe he was thinking Leon was going to move down low. But when they got the power play against Los Angeles in Game 4, I thought to myself, it's game over. I did not think that last night. I actually thought to myself, there's a very good chance Vegas wins this game shorthanded. And I think they briefly had a 2-on-1, but Nuge got back, and I think they were at the end of his shift anyway, so they dumped it down the ice. But yeah, I didn't get the feeling last night that the Oilers were for sure. I mean, it's never for sure, but I didn't think, a 5-minute power play, they're absolutely going to score. I don't know if I think sometimes you just don't play as well. I think Vegas is a good penalty killing team, and they're taking away some things that the Oilers like to do. And you're right, Draisaitl, and we don't know if something is still bothering Draisaitl. I think it's fair to suspect it at this point. He has 2 overtime game-winning goals in the playoffs, which is pretty darn important, but he's not as dominant and as comfortable with the puck as he usually is. I was watching the panel during the second intermission. I can't remember if it was Bonus or Bieksa suggested maybe you need to break up Leon and Connor just so Leon gets the puck a little more and can start feeling it, because he's getting it and he's fumbling it or throwing it away.
Yeah, did not look himself.
But scored a big goal, which is important. Knoblock with a little more on that line. We're looking for a name for the supposed fourth line of Podkolzin, Arvidsson, and Janmark.
Well, at the end of the year, we had a lot of injuries, and you never want to go through that, missing players, and it was tough for us to find out what kind of team we had going into the playoffs because there were so many uncertainties. We didn't know who was going to be coming back, who could be playing what spots. But one of the positives was other guys got to play a lot, and we got to see some line combinations that probably wouldn't have put together. And one of them was Podkolzin, Arvidsson, Janmark, and they were our second line for a good portion of the end of the last couple of weeks of the season, and they played really well. And they didn't score at this rate that they have been in the playoffs, but there's a lot to like, and I think they felt good playing together, and you've seen that carry over to the playoffs.
Do you feel when that line is on the ice that they are looking to create energy? Like they're not, okay, let's go out there. Because the Oilers at times, especially some of the big guys, it's like, well, let's feel out the game. Let's see what type of a game it's going to be, and then we'll see how we have to play. That line looks as if, okay, we know we got to go.
Yep.
We just know we got to go. This is our role now. Like, I mean, you can say whatever. Arvidsson was supposed to be top 6, score 30 goals, whatever. That's where, I mean, Janmark kind of plays that way all the time. But I just get the sense that when they're on the ice, they're like, hey, we got to go. We got to make quick plays. We got to get the puck to the net. We got to hit. We got to get to the middle of the ice. And, you know, that play last night, first of all, on the Wallman goal, that's a very simple play. Like Arvidsson behind the net, got it to Podkolzin. Arvidsson went to the net himself. Podkolzin, nothing fancy. There's the point, man. Wallman, shoot it. Yeah, you get a little bit of a break in off the Vegas player's leg, but you got that break because you played fast, you played in straight lines, and you simplified. Things we talk about doing all the time.
Exactly. Pucks on net. Braden McNabb, he ate one of those earlier in the game on a power play, a Bouchard shot.
Right.
Right? So you're going to stand there. You better make sure you're deflecting it where you want it to go, not right into the net.
By the way, we're bringing you the Oil Understood, presented by GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. Okay. A little more here from Knoblock. By the way, Jamie Thomas coming up at 4:40 to talk about this crazy Oilers run and a bit about the Winnipeg Jets series as well. Which one do you want Knoblock on? We'll do this one. Knoblock asked about the Arvidsson trip non-call in overtime.
One that we were fortunate. I thought it should have been a tripping, and it doesn't matter. Every game, I'm sure Vegas has other plays on that they felt that there should have been calls on, and we've got a list of plays that we thought we should have got called or benefited from. And there was a play in the third period. There was a trip that we felt should have been called, and shortly after they scored a very crucial goal, and very similar to the one that happened in the overtime. And no matter if you're a fan, coach, whoever you're cheering for, Team A, Team B, there's always things that you wish didn't go your way, or you felt that didn't go your way. And, hopefully things don't change the course of the game. And, in the third period, we felt there was a call that changed the course of the game. And obviously in overtime, there's a call that they felt changed the course of the game. But hopefully everything works out in the end. And I've coached a lot of games, not a lot of games in the NHL, but I've coached a lot of games in other leagues, and I know the officiating is much superior here than anywhere, and they're doing a fabulous job.
A good job by Knoblock to save that at the end. Well, yeah, we probably got away from the trip, and there's always calls that affect the game. Heck, we got screwed in the third period. But boy, these refs are good. Yeah. Calls are going to get missed.
Yeah.
The Oilers got a break. Got a massive break. This series is still on edge to me. I think there's a lot of work to do. I think Vegas is very, very good, and they played very, very well yesterday. Do you think that after Game 2, the Oilers have more adjustments to make than the Golden Knights?
No.
How come?
They won. Until you lose, I wouldn't change anything. I guess, and I don't know if this is just an adjustment or like these offensive zone time that Vegas had was a lot. It was too much.
It was way too much yesterday, for sure.
So I don't know if they can somehow. I mean, they started to do that against LA. They just started chip it out.
Yeah,
almost to the scoreboard and down.
Right,
and allow yourself to get a change. Maybe they need to revert to that, or take an icing once in a while. Who cares? Put Evander Kane out there to skate around the circle 5 times to delay the draw. Right? He's good at that. Have you noticed that?
Kane's playing well.
He is. Have you noticed him in the faceoff? Well, not in the circle, but sometimes he is.
Yeah, that's true. He'll go in.
He'll always. Tom Gazzola noted this. He'll always step in.
Oh, to delay. To delay it. Yeah, for sure. I've
almost like
that.
clockwork.
Yes. Anyway, more comments from Knoblock here as we continue with the oil understood for GCL Diesel. Nasties, you are honest and wonderful, because our off-topic topic is vomit related, a time where it wound up happening in more of a public spot than you were hoping. T-Man says, I puked up a ton of beer under a table right by the dance floor in the old Purple Onion back in the 80s. I was 16 with fake ID, and they just kept serving me after. They never even cleaned it up, LOL. Well, why would they? And what is this one? Farmer 94. Too much red wine one night. Our golden lab was lying on the bed. I sat up and threw up all over the dog, who then jumped off the bed, ran across the hall, and jumped on our son's bed. My goodness. Poor dog. Though, given what dogs roll around in sometimes, I'm sure it was fine. Oh my goodness. The nasty chat is rolling along. Keep giving us the thumbs up if you're on YouTube. We have hit word of the day territory. We're 24 away from double word of the day territory. So let's rally here quickly and get us there as soon as possible. It's Friday. Don't pleasure delay. Click, click, click. Give us that thumbs up on YouTube. Well, people probably want the song, don't they? Okay. I will pander.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right, little more from Chris Knoblock. Jamie Thomas, our buddy from the Ground Control podcast in Winnipeg, is coming up as well. Here comes the Koob.
On the ice, Dallas looks to go up 2-0 on the Jets in Game 2 while Toronto visits Florida for Game 3. The Maple Leafs up 2-0 in the series. And the NHL Department of Player Safety has a hearing with Vegas' Nicholas Waugh after he cross-checked Trent Frederick of the Oilers last night in the face of play. Resulted in a 5-minute major in a game misconduct. Out west, Game 1 of the WHL Playoff Championship Series goes down, having the Tigers clash with the Chiefs, both teams sweeping their last series. And basketball has the Thunder and Nuggets meet in Game 3. That series is locked at 1 apiece, while the Cavs and Pacers tip off at 5:30. Indiana leading 2-0 in the series. And from Seattle, the Jays and Mariners kick off a 3-game series. Kevin Gausman starts for Toronto. While back at the Expo Center here in Edmonton, the Stingers and Surge tip off for Edmonton's season opener at 4 o'clock tomorrow. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you're stuck with a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sports Medicine. Call them at 780-460-9977 or visit their website at advantagesportmed.com to book an appointment today. The show rolls on once we get back from a brief intermission. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus, shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
Craving a late night snack? Hit the Banquet for our new late night happy hour. Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. till close. Try favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or our Banquet burger and fries. All at happy hour prices. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
My mother used to let us not lock the doors. She's like, if you're locking the doors inside of the house, it means you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, that's why we lock the doors.
Host of the Bad Friends and Whiskey Ginger podcast, don't miss Andrew Santino, Freeze Peach, live at the River Cree May 22nd.
Michael, what are you doing? We have locks on the outside of the house to keep criminals from coming inside. There's no criminals inside of this house. Yes, there are, Karen.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. Excitement, bet on it.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
I don't remember this one. This is your old band. Have we played this one before?
This is the grad song.
Your grad song?
Yeah.
What was it called?
Grad song.
Oh. What's it about?
So we sang this, Robbie, who was the bassist, he sang this on, him and I did perform this at our grad at the Shaw Conference Center, acoustic.
No way.
Yeah.
And is it a coming of age type song?
Kind of, yeah.
Or more about partying?
Tales and trials of an emotion and emotions of a teen.
So was this off? This was the Brody album, not the North Shore. The first.
This would have been Brody.
This would have been Brody, still in high school.
Yeah. Young.
Yes, the young Jay Milne, innocent.
Yeah, we were real catchy with our song titles.
Untainted by hazelnuts.
Grad song.
If you, by the way, we should, as much as we love our audience and we thank and we know that there are some people who listen to Edmonton Sports Talk all day long. We also know that in an audio medium like this, that people don't necessarily listen all day. However long you got to listen and tune in, we appreciate it. And we hope we're keeping you around for as long as possible. But if you are in and out today and you're hearing us tell these stories or ask for these stories about vomiting in public, it is because of something that happened to Jason Milne earlier. So can you give like the 40-second version?
Yeah, I had an allergic reaction to a donut that was apparently called the Ferrero Rocher.
Oh, it has a name now.
Which is, well, Maddie found it on their website, which one it was. It's jam-packed with Ferrero Rochers, which are like the worst things possible for me.
Okay.
And I had a big old bite of one. So I had an allergic reaction. My stomach was rejecting it, and I was outside dying in the streets in front of EST with Reid, the Godfather, Troy, and Maddie. And Koob came out, and I puked. I had to get it out of my system. So I just, did the old single finger salute, and there we go.
There it is.
I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Koob? You gotta get the bad stuff out of you. You gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do. So that was some of the drama here earlier today at Edmonton Sports Talk. I found that much more tense than watching overtime last night. Watching your allergic reaction, because that's a lot of uncertainty there.
Yeah, and I was pretty open with you about it throughout the process because I knew you would get it, what I was saying, and you were asking very specific questions that I would get.
Yes.
So we had an unwritten communication, so to speak, today.
Yeah.
It was fine. I'm good.
You are good. And you're not feeling drowsy or tired from the medication that Matt and I got you?
No. I mean, I have been drinking coffee since then to fight any counters or try to fight the effects of
you may
drowsiness.
hit a wall at some point, because when I've had allergic stuff, even mild ones, there's usually at some point where my body's like, okay, just chill out, everybody. Me, not.
No, I'm going home, straight home, and then we're going back into the city for a basketball tournament. Game at 8:30 on a Friday night, Reid.
Oh, good for you. Is the whole family going?
Yes. Yeah.
But just one kid's playing?
You know it.
And then this is an all-weekend tournament?
Oh, yeah. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah, it's Mother's Day.
It is.
On Friday.
Sunday.
Or today's Friday. Mother's Day is Sunday. There's a lot going on in my family besides my eye. So hopefully we'll find time to do something cool for my mom. I may just buy her a bunch of lottery scratch tickets and be like, here, have a good day. She probably would like that. I got to get her a Play Alberta account so she can wager on Jay's play of the day.
Well, if you do, make sure you have her deposit 20 or more and get a $100 casino bonus. For new and existing players using the promo code 100casino. That would be a gift. And then you say, hey, I got you $100, $120 in your account.
I talked to some people. They got you a little bonus.
That would be very
my
thoughtful.
goodness. We're having a great day. What a game last night. What tension is in store tomorrow. Game 3, Oilers and Golden Knights at Rogers Place, 7 o'clock. And Chris Knoblock was asked about returning to Rogers.
I expect outstanding atmosphere where our players are very motivated and feel good from the environment of the fans that they bring every night in playoffs has been phenomenal. I know that we enjoy that, and I would expect it'll be a great atmosphere.
Yes, it will be the Jungle. Of course, they have Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses as their hype song before they skate out onto the ice. Jay and I are coming to you from the Banquet Studio. Celebrate your birthday at the Banquet Bar. Amazing drinks, great vibes, and unforgettable memories. Book your party today at thebanquetbar.com. Also, Knoblock was asked about the team keeping their emotions in check.
Absolutely, and I think we've done a pretty good job of that in my time here, that I've seen our team handle adversity, whether it's a bad call or bad goals or whatever happens during the game. I think we've been doing a pretty good job. And ultimately, all you can do, and coach tell the players, is you can only control what you can control. And that's when you're jumping over the boards, you hit the ice, what is it that your responsibilities are? Getting the pucks in deep, making a pass, picking up your defensive responsibility. Those are the things you control, and hopefully if you're doing those well enough, you're drawing more power plays, you're creating more offense, all those things. So, some things are out of your control. You don't know what Vegas is going to do with their systems or how they're going to play. Are they going to make mistakes? Is their goalie going to stand on their head, or if a referee's going to make a call or not? Those are out of our control, so we just have to worry about things that we can control.
All right, and I think we've talked about that the Oilers have been generally a pretty calm and focused team, and that have been pretty good at dealing with challenging situations in games as they got the overtime win last night. Here's another thing that's shifting. They're now starting to win overtime games. Like for most of the McDavid Draisaitl era, they've been a poor overtime team.
But what was the stat you presented in the round
They're
one?
now 7-11, but they've won. What are they up to now? 4 of their last 5, because they won yesterday. They won in round 1. Last year they won 2 out of 3. And that's, you talk about this fine line between winning and losing. There's nothing tighter than playoff overtime.
I'm telling you, the maturation of this team is showing. That team could have folded last night with the pressure that Vegas was putting on them.
Oh, for sure.
They could have folded. They stuck with it. And Calvin Pickard made timely saves. Time and time again.
Well, and that's the thing. The goals went in.
And somebody said earlier that they're saying that they're shooting at the center of Pickard. They're making it easy on him. I disagree. He made some
pretty good
very
saves.
good saves last night. That one that bounced out from the boards right into the front of the net. Who's the big centerman they have?
I can't read my scribbling from last night, but he had the great shot. And then there was a follow-up shot that I think Nurse disrupted.
Yeah. but like pad save, that very easily could have been a goal.
And Podkolzin shot right at Hill and it went in. So,
well,
almost right at Hill. No, I think Pickard's been excellent. He's one of the amazing stories of the playoffs for the Oilers. Now, this series is far from over. This series is far from over, though. I mean, I can see Vegas. I'm not even going to worry about Game 4. I can see Vegas winning Game 3. Like I really felt. Well, after Game 2 against LA, I was pretty discouraged. But then once the Oilers won Game 3, I thought, okay, we might see a comeback here. Vegas is very good. Eichel is outstanding. Well, I'll ask you something about Eichel a little bit later on. I still think Hill is a good goalie. I know I've said that I think Hill is better than Kemper. I know some people disagree with me. Maybe the body of work in the playoffs would suggest that it's not the case, but I think Hill is better than Kemper. I mean, he made some pretty good saves in Game 1 when the Oilers were taking the game over in the second period. Maybe he wasn't overall quite as sharp last night. And then you have a really good defense. You have Pietrangelo back. I mean, you have good forwards. Like, Vegas is good. They got an experienced coach. I think the series is a long way from over. But here's the thing from an Edmonton perspective. Leon and Connor have not dominated a game. And you would think at some point they're going to do that. And their Oilers are pretty hard to stop when that happens.
Well, and Bronco Nick in the Nasty Chat says Reid and Jay are like Leon and Connor. Wow. It's quite a compliment.
We're both less than 100%.
McDavid and Draisaitl factored on the same game-winning goal, they factored in on the game-winning goal for a 7th time in their playoffs together, 110th time, including regular season and playoffs.
Right, because they haven't played. Wasn't last night their 82nd playoff game? Didn't they say that on the broadcast? I'll check quickly.
Only 3 other duos have done that over 100 times in the regular season and playoffs. Care to guess?
Okay, so players who have combined for a game-winning goal?
Over 100 times. So longevity, they've had to have played with each other for quite a while, obviously.
Right.
And they have to be good. There's only 3 other duos.
Gretzky and Curry. Crosby and Malkin.
No.
Okay. What about the Sedins? Sedins are right.
Good one.
All right. What about
this one's a little older? Probably gave the Oilers.
Did I say Crosby and Malkin?
Yeah,
and that was wrong.
That was wrong.
So Gretzky and Curry was right. The Sedins were right.
Yeah,
and the other one's older. Lafleur and Schutt.
No. Think of a team that gave the Oilers fits in the 80s.
Medan. McInnes and Fleury? I don't know.
No.
Gave the Oilers fits in the 80s. Howard Chuck and somebody?
Maybe the early 80s.
Dion and Simmer. Nope. Oh, wait a minute. Potvin and Bossy.
Oh, you got one of the names right.
Bossy and Trottier. Okay.
There you go. So they're in pretty rare.
So they're pretty good company. So Connor has played 82 playoff games in his career and has 131 points.
Jeez.
And Draisaitl has played 82 playoff games and has only 121 points. So you can't say their production drops off in the playoffs.
Wow.
They've been fine. Keep clicking that thumbs up on YouTube, by the way. People were guessing some of the names in the Nasty Chat. Keep clicking that thumbs up on YouTube. We are 10 away from double word of the day territory of 155, and then we can keep building toward 200. Pretty good total, and we're just past the halfway point of the show. But again, do not slow down. We want to keep clicking away with that. Jamie Thomas to talk some Oilers, talk some Jets, and have some Friday laughs when we get back.
Round 2 action continues in the NHL as the Jets battle the Stars for Game 2. Dallas taking Game 1 while the Maple Leafs and Panthers open up the night at 5 o'clock for Game 3. Toronto leading 2-0 in the series. In Vegas' Nicholas Waugh has a hearing with the NHL's Department of Player Safety after he received a 5-minute major in a game misconduct last night for cross-checking Edmonton's Trent Frederick in the mouth. And from Medicine Hat, the Tigers and Chiefs have puck drop for Game 1 of the WHL Championship Series after both teams swept their conference opponents. On the court, the Thunder meet the Nuggets in Game 3 with that series tied. Meanwhile, Cleveland throws down against Indiana, having the Cavs trail 2-0 in the series. Kevin Gausman takes a mound for Toronto as they have a 3-game series with the Mariners. Seattle leading the American League West. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton. Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Visit findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717. We talk some Jets and Stars once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Timeout, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place, anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Must you click? Click. Must you click?
Thumb Click remix put together by Zachary Kubusch, reminding you to hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Let's drive for 200 before we go into the weekend. We're with you until 6 o'clock. Tonight, we need 4 dozen more thumbs, which I know are floating around there out there. Share the link to the show with other people. Spread the word for the YouTube stream, for the iHeartRadio app, for the TuneIn Radio app. We love to have you, and we love to bring new people on board. We have found that most people who sample EST wind up sticking around, which is pretty cool. All right, let's dive into Voices of the Game for Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated since 1993. We're more than just plywood. We offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. With a huge selection of hardwoods and knowledgeable staff, we're here for all your DIY needs. Windsor Plywood Leduc, the experts you need to know. This guy is an expert in many things. It's our buddy Jamie Thomas out of Winnipeg, host of the Ground Control podcast, the official podcast. I always have to feel like I have to say, the official podcast. That's the one of the Winnipeg Jets. So, like, we've never talked about this in all the years we've known each other. Like, we're both property owners. But I'm like the least handy guy. Like, I could paint over a smudge on a wall. Sure. Like, are you a DIY guy?
Do I look like a DIY guy?
Maybe a DUNCE guy. I don't know.
I remember my dad would try and teach me stuff, and I'm like, no, I'm going to pay somebody to do this stuff. And then I got into media, and joke's on me. So right. You end up doing stuff on your own anyways. I just finished mowing the lawn, Reid. That's
started Monday,
I'm handy.
just finished.
Yeah,
now you got to start again tomorrow.
Finish the backyard. Yeah, might do the side of the house on Sunday. I don't know. Just depends how much time I have.
Jamie, are you
We'll
rolling
see.
with a fresh haircut?
Yeah,
looks good, high and tight.
Thanks.
I like it.
Yeah,
I gotta get my mop cut here, but I've been growing it, and the Oilers keep winning. I don't think
you can't cut it.
I can't do it like Gene does. He just goes ahead and cuts his hair.
Gene is a man of many talents, and he just likes to now. He just likes people talking about him, so he just keeps growing the hair, good or bad. And then when he cuts it, he's a big deal. That's all. You know what I mean? The guy can do no wrong.
That's true.
Going back, remember the Mac T? He looks like a lounge singer. Remember that, Reid? When it was back in our Sportsnet days, we got those new clothes, and Gene shows up, and Mac T called him, "You look like a lounge singer."
That's great. I don't think I remember that, but
oh my gosh! Okay, I'll find it for you. I'll find it on YouTube, and I'll send it to you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Well, Mac T has a lot of great lines, so that doesn't surprise me. We
hundreds.
got a lot to talk about with you, and a short amount of. Well, actually, I think you got 5 or 6 hours until the Jets game starts, but that's another story. But before we get to that, I mean, last night, what theater? I mean, what an epic playoff game between the Oilers and Golden Knights.
Yeah, that was a great hockey game, and of course, the way I love how you have the elite players. You silence them for the majority of the game until when it matters, and then in the back of your net. It's going to be a great series. I'm pretty sure the Oilers will be very cautious because they're on the other side of things, having lost the first 2 games of that series against Los Angeles. So I think they'll be aware of any letdowns or anything of like that. But they've experienced enough playoff hockey now that they understand where they're sitting right now, that they're in the driver's seat, that they don't want to allow Vegas back into this when they come back to home. So I don't expect any massive drop-offs from the Oilers because of just how much they've experienced in the last year and a bit. I feel they're quite comfortable in this situation. It's not like they're going to overlook Vegas and look into the Western Conference Final. They realize there's still a lot of work ahead to them.
So, now in terms of when is this game starting tonight? Like, this is outrageously late, isn't it?
Whenever you're on the same night as the Leafs is like the worst thing ever. So it's just whenever the Leafs are finished, Reid is the best way to tell you. Now, whenever the moneymaker finishes up doing whatever they want to do, it's technically puck drop is scheduled for 8:50. So don't let that 8:30 Central Time confuse you. It'll be 8:50. So the Jets had their morning skate at 11. Dallas didn't skate today, but they were scheduled to skate at noon today. So it's 8:50, Reid. It's been great. So especially after, we get to that, you get the right start time at 6:00 on Sunday for Game 7. They decided to go double overtime.
Right.
Irregardless, it felt like that Game 1 felt like everybody still had left. All the emotions were spent. I'm talking even the crowd. I'm talking the Jets for probably about a period and a half. They just looked spent. And then the wheels started turning a little bit after Mikko Rantanen, of course, scores the hat trick in the second period. But they got their wheels going in the third period, and I think they're going to be fine tonight because they understand the difference in the opponents. Every time they touched the puck in St. Louis, somebody was trying to go through them. So it was a big adjustment from that pace and that type of physicality to Dallas, who's more just patient, sit back and wait for you to make mistakes. And yeah, they're bigger, but they're not near as physical as St. Louis.
Jamie Thomas joining us from the official podcast of the Winnipeg Jets.
The official podcast.
They should actually, that's how they should introduce the podcast now going
feel
forward.
Free to cut it. Feel free to cut it. Reid does a lot of voices. You should have
a lot of voicing.
You should have him ask your next question. Well, I'm just going to say it. You should ask your next question as the bookbinder. Okay?
He's thinking about it.
You got a question first.
Okay. I got to ask you about Connor Hellebuck because, I mean,
right,
836 save percentage, and the Oilers had to change their style of play to support their goaltender who was struggling. Have the Jets or will the Jets, are they starting to change their style of play to a more defensive minded approach to try and get them Hellebuck through this?
Well, okay, let me tell you something. They're supposed to be the best defensive team in the NHL, and they have played that way except for stretches, if this makes sense. They were very good on home ice in the St. Louis series. Just things got away from them against the Blues in St. Louis. That game against the Dallas, everyone's talking about how Mikko Rantanen killed them, but just look like Rantanen clears up a rebound in the first goal, deflects the second one. Third goal goes on off Dylan Sandberg's stick. How long did Rantanen have the puck on his stick? Those situations, maybe half a second each time. So it's not like he was skating circles around the Jets. It was just like he found open spaces, which is they have taken full responsibility for. But to answer your question, some of that, well, a large part of that was Connor Hellebuck in that opening round. But I will say this: watching him in that last game, he looked a lot more like himself. So what they've been clear about is they're not going to change their structure because their structure has worked. That's what got them into trouble last year, Jay, against Colorado. They decided to change everything that worked for them in the regular season, and it got them in big amount of trouble. So the structure will remain the same. They just have to cut back on making sure Hellebuck sees the puck, which he did not a whole lot of in that series against St. Louis. And I know I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I will not blame him on any of the 3 goals that went by him, because that was a pretty good deflection by Rantanen on the second goal, and then he just won a puck battle in front of the net. They got to make sure that they keep the puck out of the Jets' end of the ice when that top line's on the ice. And Pete DeBoer he moved Rantanen away. He double shifted him, put him on the 4th line. Both 5-on-5 goals were the Stars' 4th line with Mikko Rantanen on as they double shifted him in the second period.
Yeah, with Rantanen, I mean, nobody in the NHL has posted a hat trick in 3 straight games, and please, for the love of God, do not let that happen tonight, Winnipeg. But are you? I mean, there is okay. So it's kind of like you're suggesting, and you know, I get what you're saying, that he's more of a Johnny on the spot. And
you got to get open to make those plays. So it's not like I'm not taking anything away from Mikko Rantanen. No, it's not like, so, you know, he also has at least 1 point on the last 12 their goals. So he's at another level right now. The point is just like he's showing that he doesn't need much time to hurt you. And that is all, you know, Winnipeg is aware of that. Will they finally slow that down? We'll have to see. The guy's on a heck of a heater right now,
isn't he?
But I talked to Paul Edmonds today, and he's all fired up. He's like, it's not like he's dominating the Jets. I'm like, it's a very good point. He's not. He's just finding spaces, and they're going to have to take that away from him because he's just so ridiculously dangerous at this point.
Jamie Thomas, it is me, the bookbinder of Alberta. The last one. By candlelight, I bind books. The memories of others I assemble for their enjoyment. But I'm a huge supporter of Edmonton Sports Talk, particularly the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne, 3 to 6 p.m. every weekday. And I must say, I'm quite a fan of yours, JT, if you don't mind me using the nickname. I've noticed in the nasty chat on YouTube, there are some calling for you to wear a KFC bucket. Kyle Connor KFC bucket night?
Yes.
What is the tale of such, Jamie Thomas?
Well, I can't really say the words because obviously KFC, it's Kyle Bleep and Connor. So that's become rather big around here. And it's actually KFC as a sponsor. Literally, we're giving them so much free stuff right now. So it's KFC night, and they've changed. There's a Kentucky Fried Chicken on Portage. They've changed the logo in front of the store to Kyle Connor's character on the front of it. And there's an actual bucket with his name on it, with his face on it. So they're saying, I said, if they win, I'll wear this bucket. Not with chicken inside it, of course. And I'm not putting it on. I've worked hard to keep this hair, so I'm not going to put any special grease in my hair. I had a friend that worked at KFC. He told me some pretty crazy stories, so that's not going on my hair.
Made you not want to eat fast food ever again?
Yeah, you don't want to hear these stories. Nothing to do with the company, of course. KFC is a great company. The food is fantastic. It's just the people you employ sometimes. Yeah, that's really all it comes down to.
So we are wondering if you do have a story for us before we let you go. And thanks as always for being so great with your time, especially on a game day that'll probably turn into a game morning, given how late it starts. So long story short.
Yeah.
I have a nut allergy. Okay. Jason Milne has a nut allergy.
Right.
So today, Jay accidentally ate something with hazelnuts. And I was very concerned, but we got him through it. He's obviously here working. but he did vomit outside.
You look fine,
by
Jay. You look fine. You look really good.
Thank you.
You're going to be okay.
Okay.
You're going to be okay.
But he did vomit outside by his truck.
Yes.
So our off-topic topic for William Huff has been, and we have had some amazing submissions that we've read on air, a story about a time you vomited more publicly than you were hoping to. Like you didn't make the bathroom or the woods. Do you have one or one from a buddy or anything like that comes to mind?
Okay.
We did not prep Jamie for this, by the way. This is spur of the moment.
Okay. There's a bar in Calgary called the Tasmanian Ballroom. And three of us show up, my friend Jamie and Greg. We get there, we asked the bartender what the special was, and she said 25-cent tequila, Zambuca, and root beer schnapps. So this is like 8:30. So, of course, my buddy pulled out $5 and asked her to make him a Zambuca milkshake. And he has that. And then we asked the lady again what the special is at 9 o'clock. She's like 25-cent tequila, Zambuca, root beer schnapps. This is a full meal deal. By the end of the night, my one friend, his girlfriend came to pick him up. He starts bawling. He says, I don't want to go home with her, and runs down the street. So we tackle him. He ends up going home with his girlfriend. And then my other friend, we couldn't find him. And my buddy who had left with his girlfriend had a Volkswagen Scirocco with a sunroof on it. And we're like, I wonder where Jamie is. And I see this little voice come out of the backseat of the car because he's curled up in the back because he's so sick from drinking so much root beer schnapps. He's like, I'm in here. So we end up getting to my friend's house, who was curled up in the ball in the back of the house. He gets on the front lawn and he's unloading everything. And my friend Greg's hitting him on the back. He's like, that's it, buddy. Let it all out. Let it all. Don't hold back. Don't hold back.
Oh, that was better than I expected.
Yes.
That's why we have Jamie on.
That's why you're the best, Jamie.
Hockey analysis.
Wow.
Vomit stories. We haven't even talked Star Wars with him yet. We'll save that for later. That's incredible.
The kicker to the story is I got home to my house. I look at the clock. It was 10:30.
You got home early. That's amazing.
And you got there at 8 or 8:30.
We lived in Cochrane, Alberta, so it's a 30-minute drive.
Oh my God.
So all of that happened in less than 90 minutes. So.
That's awesome. Well, you guys are wild men, painting the town red. Okay.
I do not know how we're still alive, but it's okay.
Yeah, you're fine. Okay, thanks for doing this. Enjoy the game tonight. Still got a while.
Do you want to talk about our feelings here for a bit?
Yeah,
we have some time to kill.
Hang on, I'm gonna order some KFC before.
Yeah, we'll bring it in a bucket for you. All right. Thanks for doing this.
There'll be photos. Don't worry, there'll be photos.
There'll be photos. Oh yeah, we can't wait if you got to wear the bucket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll probably bug you next Friday. Thanks for this, buddy.
Okay, count me in.
Davey Thomas. The
what a story. We've all done that.
They weren't even out for 2 hours.
The hour-and-a-half bar stint.
Yeah.
That you have to leave.
Yeah.
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 It happens. You
thought you were way tougher than you were.
YOLO, Reid. YOLO.
Yeah. FOMO. Is FOMO a thing too?
FOMO?
Sounds like the noise you make when you're puking up the root beer schnapps. All right, that's Jamie Thomas. He's great. Jets, Dallas. Later tonight, do we have the ESTV on the game that's starting right away?
Yes.
Leafs, Panthers.
Yeah, the Jets game is part of my Jay's Play of the Day. So,
oh yeah, what is it again? Go over that again.
We're going to have to keep our eyes on that. I'll be doing that from basketball. Gosh. Mark Scheifele 1 goal, Connor 1 point. So KFC 1+ point, and the Jets the goal total over 5.5. That has been boosted big time to +451. That's a big boost.
Oh, nice.
That's 4.5 to 1. You put a buck bet down, you win $4.51.
Okay, perfect.
Not bad. And I gotta say, there is a huge parlay under the specials, EST specials. If you go to playalberta.ca, the Grand EST parlay, or otherwise known as the Grandest parlay, Leafs Panthers over 5.5, SGA 41+ points and assists. Okay, combined points and assists. Milwaukee Brewers to win, Oilers Knights over 5.5 goals, and Fiat to win.
Wow,
plus 1506. Put down $1 and get back $15.06.
Did I hear a UFC name?
There is a UFC name.
Manon Fiorot.
Fiorot.
Very French. Very French.
Koob's ears have perked up.
Well, you might want to get in on that, Koob. And while you're in there, click the thumbs up for our show today.
Yeah,
okay?
keep giving us the thumbs up. We can see 200 from where we are.
Can we?
But we need you to pitch in and do the work, everybody. So click the like button, the thumbs up button on YouTube. Let's get over 200. We've had a great streak doing that during the Stanley Cup playoffs. By the way, if you text us at any point, 780-218-9999. You are using the afternoon inbox presented by River Crew Resort and Casino, home of the Kitchen Restaurant. All you can eat prime rib buffet for $49.99 every Sunday from 4 to 10 p.m. Buying or selling for Damon Bunting. Words of the day. A very special guest from a local team that starts its season this weekend as well. All ahead in the final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne.
The EST Hangout.
Yeah, who would have guessed at the start of this year that Calvin Pickard would be the guy that we're looking at 6 straight wins in the playoffs? Like, honestly, even this, Connor and Leon really haven't had great overall outstanding plays that we've seen other past, because it has been just relying on everyone else. The amount of goals, if you go down the list and see how many goals outside of Connor and Leon other guys have, it's ridiculous in a good way.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Spin to win Fridays at the Banquet. Every Friday, spin the wheel for a chance to win big and save on your bill. It's that easy. Spin, win, and save. Don't miss out. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Timeout, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place, anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Getting underway shortly, Toronto visits Florida for Game 3. The Maple Leafs up 2-0 in the series. And back in Canada, Dallas looks to go up 2-0 on the Jets in Game 2. And the NHL Department of Player Safety has a hearing with Vegas's Nicholas Waugh after he cross-checked Trent Frederick of the Oilers in the face last night. The play resulted in a 5-minute major and a game misconduct. While out west, Game 1 of the WHL Playoff Championship Series goes down. The Tigers clash with the Chiefs, having both teams sweep their last series. In the NFL, Falcons' 15th overall pick, Jalen Walker, has agreed to a 4-year deal worth over $20 million, while basketball has the Thunder and Nuggets meet in Game 3. That series locked at 1 apiece, while the Cavs and Pacers tip off at 5:30. Indiana up 2-0 in the series. In baseball, the Jays and Mariners kick off a 3-game series. It's Kevin Gausman taking the ball for Toronto. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update. The final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Wheel the Wolf, outstanding band. Leafs, Panthers about to get underway. We're going to be following along on the ESTV. Oilers play tomorrow at 7. Home game against the Vegas Golden Knights. By the way, no update on Braden McNabb, who was injured on the non-trip call
from Victor Arvidsson late in overtime. So Nick Waugh has the hearing tonight for the cross-check to the face of Trent Frederick, so maybe a suspension coming there. 7 o'clock game tomorrow at Rogers Place. It's going to be just amazing in the city, I think, all day tomorrow. 5:30 for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tom Gazzola live from the Ice House right in the Ice District Plaza. Man, oh man, that place is packed. How good does that look on TV? Oh, you don't think it looks good, Jay? Harumph. I like nothing.
I don't know that it does it justice. Because
fair enough.
The problem is that they use this shot that there's like a 50-foot distance from the camera.
People stand back so they can see the screen.
Back.
Yeah,
so
true.
it's not like they've got the camera like in Toronto, like we see that
over
goes
top of the crowd.
The booms over the crowd. They'd be much better served with that.
They need a drone.
They need a drone, bruh.
But I don't know. I think it looks pretty cool. Very young crowd, as I've mentioned, and people are pretty excited. Okay, so I mentioned earlier, Jay. Well, let me do this first. We got a limerick. Read at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Sent in by VR Montenegro, calling himself today Versatile Robot Montenegro. The Oilers win, but not in regulation. Sweet OT win completes the celebration. Today, Jay almost died. Dangling nut joke aside, Captain Scarlet in Super Mario Nation. I don't get all of that. But I don't get the last line.
Me neither.
Is there a movie coming out called Super Mario Nation? Is Scarlett Johansson in it? What's going on, Koob? Fill in the old men.
I don't know.
Koob's also miffed. Jada, nobody knows. Nobody knows anything. Okay, that's okay. But we like VR's limericks quite a bit.
I got to get to this one too. It came in from the full Jaunty. That's Jaunty in Victoria.
Oh, yeah, nice.
It's not a limerick. Sorry, Koob. He said, OMG, I have a 13-month-old pup who's humping everything at the moment, and he just started humping my calf, to which I replied automatically, without thinking, hump, 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 must be humped. He says, Jaunty in Victoria.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must.
I can't believe that this became a thing.
A thing. It was a thing.
We had the guy yesterday saying his dog was sniffing something, and he starts going,
sniff, sniff, sniff. Must you sniff?
And Gord Marchand says, great topic while I'm cooking dinner. Wife turned the stream off before I could.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Sorry about that.
Well, yeah,
I did ask what for supper.
We may deviate from the topic now.
He said, deer steak, mashed potatoes, broccoli, and cheese sauce.
Well, good stuff.
Sounds amazing, I said.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's all right. Deer. You ever eat deer?
Not regularly. I've had it. I got a couple...
venison, I think they call it.
Venison, yes. Have you ever seen... You've seen the George Washington sketches.
Why don't they say venison when you're out hunting? Hey, look at that venison.
Because it's not in meat form yet. It's just like when you see a cow,
I guess,
you don't say, look at that steak.
Okay.
Well, you might actually. Have you seen you've seen the George Washington sketches?
I have
on Saturday Night Live. Is it Nate Bargatze? How do you?
Oh, is that where he's talking about?
So he says, and one of the things he says is, "We want our free nation, and we will name meat whatever we want it. Cow meat shall be beef, pig meat shall be ham." And then they're like, "And what about a chicken, sir? Chicken." But a hot dog will not contain dog. What will it contain? Nobody knows.
I do like that skit. That is good.
Yeah, those are good. I think there are two of them because I think he came back in consecutive years and did it. And they have what's his name, Kenan Thompson, always asking, and what about black people like me in this new country? Shall they be treated with equality? And he just always ignores the question and just keeps talking. It's very funny. So I was talking earlier though. Okay, let's because I was saying, hey, you know what? Even as a broadcaster, I don't have to be fond of every franchise. I don't have to say, oh, everybody's like, I'm not fond of the Golden Knights. I'm not.
Clearly,
I have reasons for that. So let me ask you, what are reasons, buying or selling? We're going to do this. For Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years, he and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. Reasons that other markets would hate the Edmonton Oilers. Okay.
Ooh.
They got Gretzky, and then they got McDavid. Would that be number one?
Got to be. 1-1.
So
the
you
two
get
greatest
so you
players,
get Gretzky, who was in this other renegade league, and then he's on an airplane, and is it going to land in Winnipeg or Edmonton? Is he going to be an Oiler or a Jet, and it winds up in Winnipeg, and then you win? Well, he didn't win all 5, but you win 5 Stanley Cups in a 7-year span, and then you're terrible, and you get 3 consecutive first overall draft picks, and you don't improve. You don't improve, and then you win the draft lottery for the ultimate player with McDavid. Like, I could understand why that would that be number one?
Gotta be.
That the Oilers won the McDavid lottery? Like, that would just make people hate them.
Yeah, I can't. Well, continue through your list and we can rank them, but I think that's got to be
that's going to be up there. Like Matt Hyman, he put an LOL, but he's like, how many first overall picks do you need? Okay, you're going to like this. I've never told you this. So the Leafs signed Tavares, okay? And this is part of the reason I don't post a lot on X, because it's just not worth it. So the Leafs signed Tavares, and I thought I was being quite clever and funny, and some people got it. As an Oilers media person, I wrote, geez, how many first overall picks do you need? Boy, the people who didn't think that were funny, let me know about it.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Well, I had some people pointing out, yeah, you cover the Oilers. How many are on your team? Okay, everybody, that's the joke. Thank you.
If you could do it all over again, would you put a wink emoji?
No, I'd put a middle finger emoji.
You'd lean right into it.
Just be like, yeah. That's what I would do. Okay, so that's, I think, reasons to hate the Oilers. They signed both Perry and Kane, 2 guys who were basically fired from their teams mid-season, and the Oilers got them. They're not popular players around the league.
True.
I mean, I would say Evander Kane and Corey Perry are despised by other fan bases, including the Oilers fans when they weren't Oilers. There's a reason.
Do you think Corey Perry's still despised?
There might be a little more respect. By the way, the Leafs have scored like 4 seconds into the game. Make that 23. 1-0 Leafs already.
Wow.
Rip City Step makes a good point. He goes, they actually have to change the draft lottery rules because the Oilers kept drafting first overall. So, but that would be reason number one. Another reason for older fans would be just they still hate them from the 80s, from them being successful. So I guess that ties into the Oilers getting Gretzky. Do you think... Here's a question for you. Do you think some fan bases would be jealous of Rogers Place and the fan gatherings we have outside?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. Just asking.
Maybe Calgary, yes. A, because they haven't been in the playoffs for a while. And B, because they have to deal with the Saddle Dome.
And they got to go through all the arena stuff now.
So maybe Reid, yes. Maybe Calgary. I could see them being jealous of that. What other fan base do you think would?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Vegas? I don't know.
Well, and Alberta's viewed differently too. Just being in Edmonton, Alberta, there's generally some, I don't know.
Like around the country or around the league?
In Canada. Around Canada.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Right? We're rednecks, oil.
Yeah, there's a stereotype. That's not obviously
it's probably
completely
not
relevant, but
appealing to everybody.
Yeah, but yeah.
So there could be that.
But there are reasons to hate the Oilers, like for sure.
Well, they're good. They're good because they won the McDavid lottery.
So like my thing would be my thing is like, hey, you know what? Sorry, I don't shed any tears for the Golden Knights. They've been fine. But I get that why someone in another market could say, sorry, I don't shed any tears for the franchise that got the McDavid draft lottery. You get bad luck in a game, you get a bad call. So what? You got the best luck possible by getting McDavid. Like that's fine. But again, I'm not saying this to try to be a jerk or start an argument or belittle other people. That's part of the dialogue, and that's part of the fun about sports is that you can have these little rivalries and your own little reason or big reason for liking or not liking a player or a fan base or a team.
Do you think a Stanley Cup weighs into that? Winning, because you said it off the top that they did the draft lottery. They've already won a cup. Do you think that factors into the vitriol you have?
Yes,
because the poor old Oilers haven't won it in a while. Right? They've been there to game, the Stanley Cup Finals, but they haven't won it.
Right.
So that might quell some of that.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
And I understand Corey Perry was a person that you despised, but I'm not sure if that same level is there because his same, ability or desire to quite frankly piss the other team off.
Right.
Doesn't seem to be as aggressive as it once was, say in his Anaheim days.
Yeah, maybe.
Now he's beating you with just how can you be mad at
he's almost like a wily old, but he still does kind of borderline dirty things out there. He can be a pretty cheesy player.
Buying or selling, Toronto being up 2-0 is a bigger surprise than the Oilers being up 2-0.
Selling. Because the Oilers had to win on the road. Against the first place team in the division. The Leafs are the first place team in their division. And again, I'm not surprised by the Leafs winning. As I've been saying throughout the playoffs, this is a different version of the Leafs team to me. So I'm selling that because I think that the Leafs are legit. Buying or selling, stop Eichel, stop the Golden Knights.
Ooh.
Hey, what about that one, Koob?
Ooh. Yeah, I'll buy. I mean, he's so good. He is. I don't know. Is he getting better? You know what I mean? Like, is he finding his? Because it's like when the Oilers do that drop pass to McDavid and he brings it into the zone and sets everything up.
Yeah,
that's what Eichel's now doing.
Yes,
he is their McDavid.
Yeah, he's excellent.
Not so much on the defensive side. As we witnessed last night. Because that was a 2-on-2.
He is a good defensive player, but not in that situation.
That was a 2-on-2.
But you're asking him to do something he doesn't normally do.
Yeah. And if you say to him, hey, you can do that over again, he grabs McDavid by the back of his neck and drags him to the ground.
And hopes it's not called because they just got away.
Very well could have. Yeah.
Just got away with one.
But his stick was in position to trip him.
Yes.
Somewhat effortlessly. He pulled it away. But yeah, Eichel's the key to the success. Power play runs through him. Any activity they get going through the zone usually ends up with him being involved. I mean, that power play goal they scored last night where he snapped it across to Karlsson. I mean, did you see him head nodding, probably 5 seconds before that play even came together? Directing.
Well, this is what's interesting about these power plays because the Oilers' power play is usually much better than it has been. And quite frankly, in the playoffs, it's been deadly on home ice and done nothing on the road. But the Oilers' power play is move it around, retrieve it, create chaos. Like Vegas's power play is like a quarterback standing in the pocket for how long until he finds somebody. I mean, Eichel just waits and then picks you apart with one great pass. I mean, it pretty much is just him. And I think that's what the Oilers have to figure out. How can you get the puck off his stick, right? Like, are they going to have to pressure him in that situation so he's not the one making the pass? I know it's easier said than done, and they're going to have to cover the front of the net better. But that's their power play is very successful, but in a different way from how the Oilers usually is, I think.
So, buying or selling, the Oilers need to simplify things on their power play. As in pucks on net. Pucks on net.
Yeah.
Even if you think it's going to get blocked, get it there.
Well, have Kubusch blast away, I guess.
Yeah. If you want to stand in the way, okay, it's going to hurt you. But even if you're shooting a little bit wide, just to get it in that area, that dangerous area, where, Draisaitl and Corey Perry can come in and Nuge is there. I really think they do. They're passing up opportunities, and I understand they're waiting for the right one. They're waiting for that bang, bang play. But if it's not there and if it's not working for whatever reason, just simplify. I really think they have to do that. Now, fortunately for them, as you just mentioned, on home ice, power play is pretty dang good.
But and I know that other teams get in shooting lanes, but we've seen Vegas do it. I mean, there have been times in the series I felt Vegas just shot wide on purpose, even like a defenseman's just trying to get the puck through. Yes. Wallman's goal was going wide,
yes,
and it hit a defenseman and went in. And Bush's shot is so hard. I mean, make a guy block it, make him feel it. Or, okay, maybe you got to aim 8 inches wide of the post. And where's it going to carry him? You're still making the penalty killers turn and find the puck.
Sure.
So, yeah, I think you can simplify by having Bush fire away. I'm all for that all the time. Keep giving us the thumbs up on YouTube, by the way. We need 18 more thumbs to get to 200 going into the weekend, which would be another incredible total for us. If you've been texting at any point or want to text before the end of the show, the afternoon inbox is 780-218-9999, presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. Visit with Jordan Baker from your Edmonton Stingers when we get back.
In Florida, Matthew Nyes has his 5th of the playoffs, putting the Leafs up 1-0 on the Panthers in Game 3, just about 5 minutes into the first period. Toronto leads 2-0 in the series. Later, Dallas and Winnipeg duke it out in Game number 2. The Jets dropping Game 1. And for the Golden Knights, Nick Waugh has a hearing with the NHL's Department of Player Safety after he took a 5-minute major in a game misconduct for cross-checking Edmonton's Trent Frederick in the face in last night's game. And the WHL Championship Series starts tonight. Gavin McKenna's Tigers take on the Chiefs, with Spokane and Medicine Hat both sweeping their opponents in their last series. In the association, it's the Cavs and Pacers tipping off at 5:30 in Game 3. Indiana winning both games so far before OKC plays Denver. That series tied 1-1. From Seattle, the Jays and Mariners open a 3-game series. Kevin Gausman takes the mound for Toronto. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. Jordan Baker joins us on the phone when we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
All right, Chris Johnston is our insider today.
I mean, this is what's special about the playoffs. There have been some instances, I suppose, dotted through history where, goalie like this that doesn't maybe have the pedigree can catch fire and give a team what they need. It's about getting the job done. And since he's got a hold of that crease here in the playoffs, the Oilers have been getting the job done.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by Southport Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Strike up some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends, where the good times roll. Whether you're here to bowl or just hang out, the Banquet Bar is your go-to spot. Get real, play hard at the Banquet.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
My mother used to let us not lock the doors. She's like, if you're locking the doors inside of the house, it means you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, that's why we lock the doors.
Host of the Bad Friends and Whiskey Ginger podcast, don't miss Andrew Santino, Freeze Peach, live at the River Cree May 22nd.
Michael, what are you doing? We have locks on the outside of the house to keep criminals from coming inside. There's no criminals inside of this house. Yes, there are, Karen.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. Excitement, bet on it.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
the Leafs here with a quick start in Florida. 2-0 for Toronto. 7 minutes into the first period, they're out shooting the Panthers 5-1. Nye got the first goal 23 seconds into the game, his 5th of the postseason. Tavares scoring while we were in commercial, his 4th of the playoffs at 5:57. So Toronto up 2-0 in the series, and now in this game against the Panthers. Later on tonight, Game 2 between the Jets and the Stars in Winnipeg. Of course, Dallas up 1-0 in that best of 7. Tip-off this weekend for your Edmonton Stingers, a Sunday home game at 4 o'clock. Now, I can tell you this, EST once again streaming all the Stingers games this year. So here on the weekend, we got Hello Hockey tomorrow at 10, GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 5:30, postgame show after the Oilers game, and then on Sunday, the Stingers game at 4. They're going to be taking on Calgary. The head coach of the Stingers is a guy who I've been covering him for a while now. Back when he was a freshman with the U of A Golden Bears was the first time we crossed paths. My buddy Jordan Baker checking in. Jordan, you're on with Reid and Jay. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for doing this, buddy. Look, we're leading into the start of the season here. Just tell us a little bit about this Stingers roster and some of the expectations you might have going into the year.
Yeah, it's a much different roster than we had last season. As the GM as well as the head coach, I've got some freedom to kind of tinker with things and to select some guys that maybe give us a better opportunity to win some games down the stretch. We have a lot of young, hungry professionals that are coming in, guys that are either on their first or second professional contracts. So, 23, 24, 25-year-olds, guys that are a little bit more malleable. And then we also are pairing that with some guys that have been around the CEBL for a little while, and Javonte Vandu and Scotty Lindsay, and obviously Nick Hornsby is back. So a good mix of youth and experience. But we wanted to bring a lot of guys that could shoot the ball from the outside. That was sort of our Achilles heel last year, is when we didn't shoot it well. Struggled to put the ball in the basket, even though defensively we were very good. So a little change in approach. And yeah, hopefully with 7 days of training camp, we're able to perform on Sunday.
Now, I don't know if this happened this year, but I think I've talked about this in the past with you or with previous Stingers coaches. Do you not get some players from Europe with not a lot of lead-in time to the Stingers season? And can that be tough to get everybody gelling off the start of the season, or what's the story there?
Yeah, so we've moved the start date of our season up about 2 weeks from where it was last season. So we're missing a handful of players that are still finishing up their professional obligations with their FIBA teams in Europe. So we've got a lot of our pieces here now, and have been here for the entirety of training camp. But as the season rolls on, we'll see some players join the team mid-season as their seasons conclude in Europe. So it gives an odd dynamic of a guy might fly in and practice once and all of a sudden be in the lineup. So we try to keep our practices throughout the year as effective as possible so that guys can get up to speed. And, we're going to see a lot of changes in the roster, certainly over the course of the season. But if we can get off to a great start on Sunday, then that makes a big difference for us.
Jordan Baker, Stingers head coach and general manager, joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. Can't say enough about the in-game experience at when you go to a Stingers game at the Expo Center. I know you guys have the drone that's always flying around. You do a lot of fun interactions with the fans. Is there anything new that, maybe you can entice some people if they haven't checked out an Edmonton Stingers game? Is there anything new that the club is doing this year, whether it be during the game or at breaks or at halftime, that fans should know about?
Yeah, we've got a couple of new promotions with some amazing partners that we brought on board this year. We got a couple more things going on, quarter breaks, halftime, some fun, engaging games on the floor with fans that can win some great prizes from us. So we've always got something going on. We've got the Super Dogs halftime show at our home opener. Oh, wow. So there's something for everybody. And we try to keep things as engaging as possible all game long. And then at the end of the game, kind of our signature thing was going to remain this year is having players come back out of the locker room to sign autographs with the kids and basically until their hands fall off. So we try to be as accessible as possible to all of the families who bring their kids out to experience our games.
All right, so Sunday, 4 p.m., thestingers.ca. You guys are taking on Calgary to get the CEBL season started. Again, go to the website to get the full schedule. Look at all your ticket options. It is great basketball. I've loved going to games over the year. I love that ending where there's the target score instead of the clock going down to 0. I like that. Jordan, I gotta ask you a little bit because look, I've seen you as a player. I've seen you as a coach. I know you a little bit as a person. I know you're a very intense, dedicated, and focused person. And we're in the middle of this Oilers playoff run, and we talk a lot about how the Oilers appear to be a very calm and focused team, and how much that might come from their head coach, Chris Knoblock, who's not a big, not a fiery, outgoing type of guy. What have you learned about yourself as a coach, and how maybe you have to be careful or aware of how your demeanor could affect how your team plays, and you got to make sure you keep all that in the right direction?
Yeah, I think the challenging part with us is we don't get, multi-year guys a lot of the time. We don't get a 9-month season where we get to build relationships with our players and really foster that level of trust that you need to be successful at this level. So, what I've learned is the importance of being a little bit vulnerable, opening up to your players and showing a different side than what they're maybe used to seeing, to help build that trust a little bit more and have them, believe in what you're trying to pitch and deliver. Because a team that can be cohesive at the end of a 4-month season is going to be the one that's walking away with a championship. So for me, I care a lot about these guys, and showing them that early in the season and showing them that throughout the season is important. Whether that means spending a little bit more time with them on trips or getting to know them a little bit more on the sidelines. It certainly helps expedite the process of building that trust and having them really buy into what we're trying to deliver here as a coaching staff.
Right on. Okay, Jordan, all the best again Sunday at 4 for the season opener. Hope you have a great crowd for that. And if people aren't able to go, they can stream the play-by-play as well here right on Edmonton Sports Talk. Hey, love talking to you, buddy. We'll be in touch throughout the season. All the best.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Jordan Baker, GM, head coach of your Edmonton Stingers. Calgary Surge on Sunday. That's the Elam ending?
Yeah.
So the first stoppage after, was it 4 minutes remaining? They shut the clock off and they say, okay, the winning team has to get to this, or whoever wins is the first team to this score, and it's 9 more points
than the person
than the
lead.
leading team.
Yeah.
So for example, Jay and I are playing the St. Vincent's School for Poorly Coordinated Boys.
Yes.
And the ball goes out of bounds with 3:58 left in the fourth quarter. And the score is we have 100 and St. Vincent's has 20. First team to 109 wins.
Yep.
So now, I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, Mooner and I went to a game, and I believe the Stingers had it was either 16 or 18 point lead and lost.
Jeez.
Yeah, Calgary caught up. But the beauty of this is there's none of the fouling sometimes that frustrates fans when you watch NCAA or NBA, right? If you're down, there's no sense fouling to stop the clock because the clock isn't running. It's all about scoring. You can't give up any points. Like the reason why they do that in the NBA, they hope, well, maybe the guy misses a shot or he makes both his shots, but we make a 3 and we slowly chip away. That doesn't work. Because they just need 9. The leading team just needs 9 more points, so you can't foul them and try to catch up that way. So it still leads to quote unquote normal, fast paced basketball, and the game ends on a basket, right? The game ends on a score.
That's the big one for me. 35% of games have ended with a 3-pointer, 50% of games have ended with a 2-pointer. And only 15% have ended with a free throw.
That one that the Calgary had the comeback ended with a free throw. Man, that was gutting though. But it's dramatic, right? Because it's like, oh, here's a shot to win. Is he going to make it, right? And then
19% of games were won by a team that trailed at some point during the Elam ending.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. Florida scored. I think Barkov, I didn't quite see if Barkov, I think, got credit, but I saw somebody posting that Morgan Riley accidentally put it
went
in his
off
own
Riley's
net.
stick.
Went off his stick. Okay. So 2-1 Leafs leading the Panthers about halfway through the second period in Game 3 of that series. Edmonton Sports Talk is presented by Play Alberta. Make your bets count for you and for everyone else with the Play Alberta app. With hundreds of player prop bets on the biggest leagues, NFL, CFL, NHL, NBA, MLB, you name it. You're not just playing for fun, you're supporting your province. Play Alberta revenue helps fund Alberta programs and services. Deposit today with promo code YEG50, that's YEG50, and get an exclusive $50 free bet to get started. Amazing. You all right, Jay?
Yeah. Just trying to catch up.
You feeling good?
Yeah, man, I'm feeling great.
I'm still a little worried about you.
Coffee's kicking in.
I shouldn't be.
No, it's
After
okay
your
to be.
allergic reaction earlier
I appreciate
today.
your concern.
Well, I'm a nice man.
You are.
Sort of.
You are. Depends.
Depends on the situation.
Yeah, depends on the situation.
I can be quite grumpy, actually. Tell you what would really leave me feeling great going into the weekend. We need 11 thumbs, 11 likes on YouTube, and we get to 200 yet again.
Let's get there.
Non-game day. We've had over 300, a couple of times? But we generally have been getting to 200 on all days during the playoffs. So just get us there. Oh, hang on. Let's try that. Let's try that again. You know what? I have trouble. I have trouble seeing the mouse with the way my eyes are because my left eye is not focused. So sometimes I lose the little what do you call it? The mouse cursor, the pointer, the clicker. What do you call it?
The pointer.
Where's the pointer, Jablonski? I can't see the mouse, Papa.
Papa.
You gotta find it. All right, it's 5:35. Here comes the Koob with the sports update.
Round 2 action in the NHL continues as the Maple Leafs and Panthers are midway through the first period. Alexander Barkov puts the Panthers within a goal of the Leafs, Florida trailing 2-1 in the game and 2-0 in the series. After that, the Jets battle the Stars for Game 2, Dallas taking Game 1. And Vegas' Nicholas Waugh has a hearing with the NHL's Department of Player Safety after he received a 5-minute major in a game misconduct last night for cross-checking Edmonton's Trent Frederick in the mouth. From Medicine Hat, the Tigers and Chiefs have puck drop for Game 1 of the WHL Championship Series after both teams swept their conference opponents. And on the court, the Thunder meet the Nuggets in Game 3. And the Cavaliers meet the Pacers. In baseball, the Jays and Mariners open a 3-game series. Right now, there's 4 games live with the Tigers up 2-0 on the Rangers. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show brings us back on the other side of the break.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Why did you leave me so fast? You never gave me a happy chance. Your fallout stayed with me, consume me. I know you can see me.
This song is called Fallout. That's Jason Milne on the lead vocals. Fantastic stuff, Jay.
Thanks. Reid?
I love that you found those CDs.
Me too.
From your former band. How many of your former bandmates listen to this show, do you think? 'Cause you're in touch with what, all
two
three
of them.
Two of them do?
Two out of the three other ones, yes. Yes.
Where's the other one? Disowned him?
Good question, bruh.
He's the reason the band broke up?
He is. He was the drummer. He had to leave to go to firefighting school in Vermilion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And
Cratered the band.
Does he still live there?
No, he lives in Sherwood Park.
Oh.
I see him all the time.
Oh, okay. So you see all three guys.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't see the bass player. He moved to Kelowna. He's now an educator.
But
out
he's
there.
texted into the show, hasn't he?
Robbie listens to the show. Yeah.
He's a great guy. I'm sure they're horrified that you have to work with me. They're like, oh,
they're
we're
probably
so,
saying
we're
the same
so
thing
cool,
about
and now you got to work with Wilkins.
Hey, I had one come in on the River Cree inbox from just a kid from Edmonton about the name for the fourth line. I really like this.
Okay.
Two Swedes in a pod.
Two Swedes in a pod or and a pod?
Well, he said in a, but you could, two Swedes in a pod would be, and a pod would be good.
Yeah, both good.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad. Yeah.
I like that. He did say it might make a good 780 shirt. Just saying.
Well, if they keep scoring.
That would be good.
Jay and I coming to you from the Banquet Studio. Mondays at the Banquet, bowl for just $2 all day. Grab your friends, have fun, and start your week right. Get real, play hard, the Banquet. So the Oilers have traveled back from Vegas. Morning skate tomorrow. Game at 7 o'clock against the Vegas Golden Knights. Chris Knoblock expecting pretty cool atmosphere at Rogers Place.
I expect outstanding atmosphere where our players are very motivated and feel good from the environment of the fans that they bring. Every night in playoffs has been phenomenal. I know that we enjoy that, and I would expect it'll be a great atmosphere.
What do you think of the actual night they had on in Vegas on the ice? Didn't they have it on before the game? A guy dressed as a knight?
I didn't see it.
I flipped over after Wilson got the empty netter last night.
Okay.
And they had some guy.
Both times I've been, like, for games 1 and 2, I've been rolling in hot.
You're just right at the start.
I'm just happy to hear a bit of the American anthem.
So they haven't had harmonicas. So they have a different singer for the Canadian and American anthems. What do they call the guy? Golden Pipes that does the Vegas anthem?
He's okay.
Yeah, he's good.
I do like the national anthem where the team name is featured in the words of the anthem.
God, I hate that.
I love it.
Where they yell it out.
Stars! Or they say
I
night.
cannot stand that.
Really?
Well, maybe it's because, apologies to the Winnipeg people, like yelling out True North, because that's the ownership company.
No.
And don't they yell red in Washington? I don't know. I'm not as big a fan of that, Jay. I'm selling on that for Damon Bunting.
Are you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just
I think
listen to the anthem.
Well, sing the anthem.
Or sing the anthem, I guess.
And they are. They're just accentuating one word.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not as big. You like that, eh?
I do.
Yeah.
Be like if, I like when large crowds do things together at the same time.
It's got to be a word for that.
Yeah, there probably is a word for that. There was one, I think you could didn't you do this in assembly when you were a kid? Like you take your hand and tap it on your thighs. And if everybody in the gym started doing it at the same time, it sounded like a gentle rainfall.
Well, not in Evansburg because our firearms were in the way.
Oh, that's good.
Thanks, buddy. 780-218-9999 is how you can text us. The River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. As you can also email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. You can chat with us and more importantly, with each other in the chat stream, the Nasty Chat on YouTube, and give us a like. Literally give us a like. We're at 199 and we want 200. I'm not sure why the 200th thumb is taking so long to find. But there must be somebody on the YouTube stream that has not clicked. So do it now.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
There it is. People like that song. Or so I'm told. Oilers Golden Knights tomorrow. Crucial game, obviously. Well, they all feel crucial at this point. What most... Because I was really curious that you thought the Oilers don't need to adjust too much until they lose. I think they need to make... Now, when I say adjust, the teams know how they want to play. They're not going to rewrite their strategy.
Yeah.
But I think the Oilers are going to have to execute better. I think they're going to have to be a little bit quicker to the puck. And quite frankly, Connor and Leon are going to have to... Would you split up Connor and Leon tomorrow?
Yep.
Is that where we're at now? It's like, well, we got to split. We got to get them going.
Yeah, just change something up. Unless, if Leon's hurt and battling something, which nobody knows, but if that's the case, maybe you do want to leave him with Connor. I'm not sure. I'm fairly confident in whatever they do with their top six.
Well, no, I know. Well, Kane, Hyman, and Nugent Hopkins have been very, very good.
Yes.
And why are Kane and Hyman good? Get it down low and go to work. And then that makes Nuge look better, I think, too.
Sure.
Because then he knows where the puck is going, or he can get the puck to those guys. I mean, Kane's goal... Okay, Kane is one of those goals where if you're a Vegas fan, you might say, how lucky is that? Like, it goes off a stick, goes off the pad, and goes in. But if you're the Oilers, and I think Louis said this, like, that's a playoff goal.
Yes.
That's three guys going to the net, working, keep the puck alive, hacking at it, get the shot, and in it goes.
Yeah, sorry, Norman, to combine. Leon Draisaitl is not hurt like that. Everybody knows. It's just his level of play is not.
I think he's I think he's battling through something, quite frankly.
Yeah,
but he's well enough to play.
Yep, he's proven to be a pretty tough character.
But unfortunately, we've had other playoffs where he hasn't been at 100%. But that's also life in the playoffs at this time of year. But I do think the special teams have to improve. So Vegas got 2 power play goals. So Edmonton was -2 on special teams. But quite frankly, it felt like more than that because they failed on a 5-minute power play in overtime. I mean, if the Oilers would have lost that game, that's your story. That's your story right there. You had a 5-minute power play with really, if you go back 5 years, historically the best power play in league history. I know it wasn't quite as high this year, but if you look at how productive it's been 5 years in a row, it's the best power play ever. And you couldn't score a goal to win the game. That would have been the story. That would have been the story. Instead, the story is, Pickard and the non-call on Arvidsson and all that kind of stuff. But that would have been the story. So they have to figure something out on special teams. Maybe it's like you were talking about on the power play. Just shoot the thing.
Yes. Don't pass up an opportunity.
Just fire away
to get it closer to the net.
Right.
Because that's worked out well for the Oilers. It has.
And then on the PK, I'm not sure what they're going to, because the PK can be very good. The PK, even in the 8 playoff games they've played, has come up with some very big kills. Even in games in which maybe they allowed a goal at another point in the game, they've come up with some very big kills. So I don't know. Like, I think to me, if you disrupt Eichel, you disrupt the power play.
That's what I was just going to say.
At least you have to start there.
Maybe that should be the tip of your connectivity, right? Is whoever's in front of Eichel, just go to him. I mean, how long did he stand there with the puck before he rifled that laser of a pass right across the crease?
Right.
I mean, that's too long. There's no pressure on him there.
And I know you have to be careful.
Sure.
Because, if you pressure him.
But what did you say yesterday? Take away the greatest threat. Him with the puck on his stick
is the greatest threat.
Is by far the greatest threat.
So they're going to have to figure something out because they can't and plus stay out of the box. So Nuge takes the 4-minute penalty early in game 1. They score on the second half of it. And then yesterday they're in the penalty box and they kill it off and Henrique flips the puck over the glass.
Yeah, that was tough.
I mean, and you didn't need to put the puck that close to the glass in that situation, and then they scored on the second half of that one. But if the Oilers can clean up the special teams, and yes, they have to do some things better 5-on-5, but I don't know. It's so fascinating at this time of year, eh? And the margins are so tight.
Yeah.
But if Leon and Connor have an explosive game and the rest of the roster plays the way they've been playing, that should be a win for Edmonton.
Yeah. And don't forget, we were asking the question earlier, why do they come out slow in series? Why do they? And the thought was brought up. I think Dusty brought it up first, but maybe they're feeling out, the top players, Connor and Leon, are feeling out what this team's doing. The team is getting a sense for it. The coach is getting a sense of what style of play they're playing. Well, the Oilers are figuring that out. And both, by the way, they're coming home with a 2-0 series lead.
Right.
So if they can keep adapting to that and tweaking, and obviously executing better their game plan, then yeah, I think they can drive this series.
T-Man would put Stetcher in for Emerson. We haven't talked about that. Emerson doesn't play a lot. He is on the PK. PK hasn't been good.
That was talked about in the post-game show a bit, and that would be, I think, really the only, or maybe it was this morning, I forget, but that's really the only change you could see potentially happening.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
you wouldn't put any other defenseman in. You're not putting.
Well, do we know
Jeff
that Stetcher's
Skinner
healthy?
Yes, he's healthy.
He's
now.
healthy.
Yeah,
He's
I think
full
he's
go.
available now. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. 550. 209 thumbs. Great job, everybody. You can still get in there and click if you haven't. Let's do it.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
So until you beat Mike the Michigan fan, you're going to get a Mike the Michigan fan word. I'm not going to give it to you first.
My goodness.
I'm not going to give it to you first, but I will give it to you second. The first word of the day is premonish. Premonish.
Premonish. Premonish. Well, I think the spelling is pretty straightforward. Premonish. Premonish.
Whoa, that's not
I got
right.
I got a little jingly music there.
That's I think Rashog's music. Excuse me.
That's the last guy's music I want associated with me.
Premonish is a verb. You correctly spelled it.
I did correctly spell it. I'm going to say that this is a form of a warning. Yes! Oh!
To warn beforehand.
Right.
Yeah. So to use in a sentence, the darkening sky seemed to premonish that the rain wasn't far off.
Because I was thinking admonish and then pre means before.
Good job. 2 for 2.
That book learning's really paying off.
Second word of the day.
Nice to be suddenly so highly regarded.
Second word of the day, as per Mike the Michigan fan, who is still undefeated. Succedaneum.
Oh my God.
Succedaneum.
Succedaneum.
Succedaneum. This is a noun.
Succedaneum.
Mm-hmm.
Succedaneum. This is diabolical. My God. This is Succedaneum.
Yes. What are you working with over there?
These are wrong. So you're giving me clues.
Yeah. Think success. Succedaneum.
I can't take it anymore.
If I said success.
But that doesn't make any sense. Success. Oh. Succesedeneum. That's awful.
That was close. I may have misled you a bit.
That's terrible.
you suck.
Succedaneum. Succedaneum.
Succedaneum. Okay.
Now, if you want me to use it in a sentence, I can, and you can at least gather a half a point, I believe.
Sure.
Let's go, girls.
Camilla realized she had no eggs for her cake and used banana as a succedaneum.
It's a replacement in a recipe. That's pretty easy to figure out from that sentence.
I figured you'd want to take advantage of it.
It's specifically a replacement ingredient or any substitute?
Substitute. Like
Really?
that was a succedaneum teacher.
I've never heard that
That
before.
teacher's a real
It seems like a
succedaneum.
completely,
This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
it seems like a completely unnecessary word.
It is. Instead of, why wouldn't you just say substitute?
You are so learned.
Learned, son.
Yeah, that's
It's
I
pronounced
don't know where that
learned.
came from. Okay. So I went 2 out of 2 on Premonish.
Yes.
So I went 2.5 out of 4. Not
That's right.
bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Winning ways.
Okay, so Hello Hockey tomorrow at 10 a.m. with Tom Gazzola and Sean Bell. 5:30 GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. And then Tom and the boys are on after the game as well for the postgame show. I'll be hopping on for that. Tom will be at the Canadian Ice House in Ice District as it's Game 3, Oilers and Golden Knights at 7. Great week, everybody. We survived. Hope we didn't make anybody too nauseous with the stories we had on earlier either. On behalf of Zachary Kubusch and the glue guy, Jason Milne, I'm Reid. Have a great weekend.